is a fabulous fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. Man, y'all already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, we back, man. Another edition of the 50-50 Show. My guy, the Severe Raider, and obviously myself, PharoahNFL. Man, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. And we got a great show lined up, great conversation lined up, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, hey, finally, like we've been talking about Jakobi Meyers getting traded. He finally gets traded. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not like we wanted him to go, but the writing was on the wall. We kind of accepted that, you know, he was going to get traded. And we'll get into that conversation and what the Raiders were able to get in in that trade from the Jaguars, who they just played, which is interesting because, you know, shout out to Michael Silver. He had a piece that he released on Monday, and he pointed out like how, you know, Jakobi kind of spent some time meeting like the owners, the coach. Like we should have known, we should have been talked about it, but he spent some time. He kind of caught that and was like, hey, it might be something, might be nothing. But I thought that was interesting that he really took his time to talk to everybody like that. And guess what happened? He ends up getting traded the following day. So It is what it is, man. We'll get into that conversation. We'll obviously get into the game, what happened. It was a heartbreaker. Like I said the other day, man, the Raiders, Thanos type losses. What was it? Was it a heart? Yeah. You know what? Strategic substitutions. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. It wasn't that. Look, I don't. You know what? It's been a while since I actually seen a good and entertaining game where it kept your attention. Yeah. A lot of these games, you just like, man, like
getting their teeth kicked in.
Bro, like, how many blowouts have we had this year? I mean, like, coming into the game, probably like at least half of the games were blowouts. You know,
so three for sure with the Commanders, the Colts, and the Chiefs.
Yeah, man. So we'll definitely get into that conversation, and we obviously the usual flag on the plays, notable quotables, all that good stuff. What's real, what's not. We'll get into that. Appreciate everybody coming through. My guy TK in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. He says, "Yo, peace, Kings." Man, my guy, man. Hey, TK, you from the East Coast? I wonder if you from the East Coast, TK. Alfredo in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. My guy. Brim in the building, man. Said, what's good, y'all?
Salute, Relly.
Salute. LS in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up.
LS.
Shit. We got Myra in the building. She says, nice Warriors win tonight. The Warriors been winning. I mean, but season don't start till Christmas. You know how that goes. Right now it's just like this is extended preseason. Like, you know what I mean? But hey, you know what? Severe, I know you follow hoop a lot. So, like, what's going on with old boy with the Grizzlies, man? Like,
Ja?
It's just I don't know why. When I from the outside looking in, I'm kind of annoyed by them. I'm like, why? Like, it just seemed like it's just always something going on with him. Like, he's always doing some bonehead stuff, and now he's just acting hella immature. It feels like the way he's kind of reacting to. I'm sure things are probably not going his way as far as maybe he's not getting along with the coach. But it's just the way he's kind of like handling it is kind of weird. Like, I mean, what's your take on it? I don't know if you've been paying attention to some of the stuff he's been saying.
Yeah, I mean, he had that weird. He had the weird post-game interview where he's like, you got to ask coaches. Like, he's like, why? It's like, well, you got to ask the coaches why I didn't play this. Or you got to ask the coaches. And he was having a bad game. So basically the coaches took him out. And obviously, when you're the franchise player, you expect the coaches to let you play through that. Like, don't sub me out. Like, I'm still the franchise guy. Like, I can be 0 for 20, but I'm still the number one guy on the team. So you expect the coaches to kind of operate in that way, and they're not operating in that way. Salute LS for sure, man. You loyal to the soil, but they didn't operate in that way. So obviously he felt some kind of way about it, and you want a superstar player to feel some kind of way about it. Now, obviously you don't want him to voice it in the way that he did to the media, but he didn't say nothing that was inaccurate. But but the coaches didn't like how he went about it. Basically, he's publicly calling him out. So they suspended him a game for conduct detrimental or whatever. So, but I don't think he wants to be there, bro. I don't think he wants to be there. I don't think he wants to be there. So they might as well get him up out of there. Hey, trade him for the.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's a championship type player, man. He's just like a John Wall. You know what I mean? Really talented player, but I don't know if he's ever gonna put it together because I feel like great players who win and also combine it with great talent, it's the mental aspect that also that's underrated that people don't talk about. The type of focus you have to have, the type of character that you have to have, with the type of leader you have to be. You hear it now and then, but I don't think people don't really talk about it. They always talk about the talent and all this type of stuff. You know what I mean? But that stuff matters when you get to the when you talking about the top. What's the difference between T-Mac and Kobe? You know what I mean? What's the difference between
James Harden and James Harden and Steph? The difference between James Harden and Steph is
exactly.
Steph,
exactly.
James Harden just as talented, but that other stuff, and he don't have it, and Steph has it in leaps and bounds.
Yeah. That matters, man. That matters when it comes to winning, and it shows, man. They got those guys got the rings. My guy Coach says, why didn't we trade Max? I mean, they're too scared to do that, man. or I'll say, you know, look, this is a controversial topic. Like Max Crosby, like we've been talking about that for a minute. Like it has nothing to do with Max. Like Max obviously is a great player. Everything you want in a franchise player, face of the team, whatever. It has nothing to do with him. It has more so to do with like the state of the team. Like is this a rebuild? How far away are the Raiders from actually competing and winning football games and actually becoming a playoff contender? It just looking at the talent on the team, where they're at, it feels like it's going to take time. It's going to take time. And then you're going to get a rookie. You also got to develop that rookie. You know what I mean? Like, for example, just to give context to what I'm saying is like, you guys remember Derek Carr, right? Derek Carr wasn't balling out right when he first got into the NFL. Like it took him time. You know, that they had to develop him. That first year, okay, did. The second year, you know, he kind of broke out a little bit, but he still was. They weren't winning football games. Then that third year is when you kind of seen him kind of break out. But also the talent kind of came together too. So the Raiders got to focus. They got to get a quarterback, and they got to upgrade the talent on the roster. Yeah. And what I'm trying to get to is that like when you look at it from that aspect and how long that's going to take, and then you got to look at Max and where he's at in his career and how old he's going to get. And he's kind of been getting banged up a little bit. He wants to win. It's like it might be a mutual thing where they can just respectfully go their separate ways. Raiders get like a couple of few first round picks. They can use that to either get their quarterback or actually build around their quarterback. And but people they take it too personal. Like, oh, why would you trade Max Crosby, your best player, and yada da da and this, that, and the third? Like, that's crazy. Like you're talking about we need talent, but you're getting rid of their best player, but they're not looking at it like they're not thinking steps ahead. Like they're not thinking like I'm thinking steps ahead. It has nothing to do with his talent. It has nothing to do with him personally. It's like I'm looking at where he's at his state of his career, how old he's getting, and the injuries. Like there's gonna get to a point where like, you know, teams are not gonna be wanting to offer him. And we've experienced this with Derek Carr. There was a moment in time where the Raiders could have traded Derek Carr and got something for him.
Two first round picks from the coach.
They could have exactly. They could have did that, but you know, yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But I'm just I just want to avoid that. Like the smart teams, they make the moves before they get get cornered. When they get cornered, meaning that like you never know. Max might be like, "Hey, I'm tired of this shit," and then it's like, damn, like he's gonna force your hand. I'm not saying Max is gonna do that. But also it might be a situation where he gets hurt and then teams gonna be like, we know he's a talented player, but the injury is kind of a risk. So we'll give you this, take this third, fourth round pick. And you'd be like, damn, for real.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm thinking way ahead though. You know, people don't want to have that conversation though. Like everybody's gonna just take it like, oh man, like, what are you talking about? Like this, that, and the third. And you hear Mark Davis say what he say, and Mark is like, Mark, shut up, bro. Like, I ain't gonna front, bro. Like, you shouldn't be talking about football, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know as much as me. You know what I mean? Let the motherfuckers that run the organization, like the GMs, like people who know football. You admitted to saying that you don't know football, and you need to have a guy in the building to make football decisions.
Yeah.
So when you start saying like, oh, we will never. How many times we have to say no, bro? No, just. Stop.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about you making football. You admitted that you don't know. You want to get someone in the building, which we all know is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I respect it. I'm glad you had the honesty. Now, if I'm hearing that you're making these football decisions, then we got to have that conversation that, you know what, which I brought up before years ago, but once he kind of said that, I kind of pivoted and was like, you know what? All right, Mark at least has that self-awareness and honesty to know that he needs to hire the right people. He needs to hire the people to make those decisions. But if he's influencing decisions, which he's done in the past, then it's like, all right, you know what? Raiders will never be good. Because if we want to be real, like if he admits that he doesn't know what he's doing,
Yeah.
and then he's going to influence decision making in that building and our football decisions. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's always going to be something stopping the Raiders from being good, and that's going to be him, But
it's one of those situations where, well, first of all, in terms of the Max thing, it's the old saying that you'd rather get rid of a player 1 year too early than 1 year too late. And that's kind of how you got to operate as a franchise, right? Like, you got to be, hey, you know what, this guy's if you start to see the decline and you're in the building with the guy every day, you know how the guy looks, you know how his training habits are, you see the prognosis and the diagnosis, and you can see if a guy's body starts breaking down. Hey, you know what, as soon as you start seeing signs of that, and you're starting to see some signs of that with Max, to be honest with you, as soon as you see signs of that, hey, you know what, Matt, he's at his peak value. Let's get what we can for him. So that's kind of how you got to operate, and that's what the best franchises do. They get rid of guys a year too early, and the bad franchises, they hold on to players for far too long, and then those guys become shells of themselves, and it's a nostalgia thing to the fan base, because they have affinity for a certain player, so let's bring that. We did some of that, with Amari Cooper. I was like, oh, Coop is back. Coop, like, people was happy. Oh, Amari Cooper, like, nah, bro, like that's one of that's he's old, and he had already shown that he's old, but people they have affinity for certain people, or if that certain person brings them back to a time when the Raiders were good, or when he was here, the Raiders were humming, the offense was good, like, you know what, and we love those guys, but like, you can't let that affect your judgment on the player. Like, if it's time to get rid of a guy, it's time to get rid of him. And in terms of Mark, like obviously Max is a franchise player, so any trade involving Max, he's going to have, I don't want to say input, but he should be in the loop, right? You don't want him making decisions or making the final call, but you do want him informed. So, if he's in the meetings and they're discussing these things and they're saying no, they don't want to do it, and it may be a situation where it's not always. Sometimes some things always aren't explicit, and that's what we gotta be careful of, right? Because there's the explicit and there's the implicit, and we run into this a lot with certain people in certain powerful positions who I won't name, where there's like, oh, he didn't tell them to do that, but he just says, oh man, I would, like, all he has to say in the media is like, man, I would really hate if we had to give up a guy like Max Crosby. Like, oh, that would really devastate me if we had to do that. So he's not telling them, oh, don't trade Max. He's just saying out loud, I would hate if we had to do that. And so obviously, if the guy that's signing your checks and running the team is saying out loud that he would hate if we had to trade Max, and he's implying to you, you better not be the person to trade Max. And so he doesn't have to explicitly say don't do it. He can just imply it. And that has the same effect. But like, people don't think in those terms. People think black and white. Oh, he didn't say don't do it, or he didn't say this, or he didn't say that. But if it's in some, like, and just implying it is enough to plant that seed for people to, like, because these people are actually smart. Like, there are a lot of people out there that don't read those context clues or don't have the critical thinking ability to say, hey, you know what? Like, I see what he's doing there. But these people who are in these positions, they see it. And they got into these positions by being able to read those context clues and being able to make the decisions, or being smart enough to, hey, you know what? It could be their decisions, but they were smart enough to plant the seed in the decision maker's head to make it think that it was their decision. So when they do it, they think, oh, you're doing something I want. And that's how they get ahead. So they're smart enough to read those clues. There's a lot of people out there that aren't smart enough to do that. But so just merely implying that he doesn't want Max gone, even if he had no influence on the decision directly, just an indirect influence on it, that's enough. So if he's doing that stuff, like I said, man, like, he's supposed to be letting the football people do the football stuff. And if he's having an effect on that side of the football, that's going to piss me off. Yeah.
I mean, I forgot where because obviously I've been following the Raiders for a while. Obviously I grew up a Raider fan. I remember reading up on Mark, especially early on when he became the owner of the Raiders when Al Davis, passed away. I remember there was something that I read saying that Al never thought that Mark would be a good owner because he gets too close to the players.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, man, when you up top, like, and I'm as a businessman though, Mark is super successful, like
top notch,
bro. He surprised, I'm sure, a lot of people around the league and things like that, especially getting to Vegas, building Allegiant, and kind of like, the value to Raiders that is at an all-time high. Not arguing that, but I'm just arguing from a football perspective. And when you hear comments like that and him being too close to the players, and like his best friends have been players on the Raiders. So I can see why Al would make that comment, because Al, in his prime, and even when he was older, he was ruthless.
Yeah,
he was ruthless.
Yeah,
he will make the tough moves. That's what I'm trying to get to, because that's what it's gonna be. That's like, this is what you're gonna need in order to be for the Raiders to be successful long term. Is they're gonna have to have that ability to make these tough moves and not hold on to players and like come on, man. Like, we gotta.
Yeah.
Look at the Patriots. I don't want to compare the Raiders to the Patriots because the Patriots are their own team. But if you compare it from a standpoint of like what made them successful for so long, like they made cutthroat moves at the end of the day. Like Bill Belichick and Tom, like they made moves where like they didn't get too attached to any of those players. They would trade guys before they needed to trade them, or like you know what I mean. Like, I feel like the Raiders. Richard Seymour, exactly. We thought and the thing is, Richard Seymour is such a greater player that we were able to see like some of that talent. But at the end of the day, like
they traded him a few years early rather than a few years late.
Facts, 100%. And then so they sell high and they buy low.
Exactly. and hey, bro, that's
sell high, buy low, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's everything.
Man.
That's the key to life. That's the key to life. But the thing is, the thing about Al is that, Al is a hypocrite insofar as toward the end of his career, Al got way too close to the players, to where like players would, go over the coach's authority. It go straight to Al, and we heard the story about Warren Sapp and how whatever he was doing on defense, and then he went to Al, and I think it was Rob Ryan who was DC at the time, and then Warren Sapp didn't like how they were playing defense, and he went to Al, and Al made Rob change the entire defense, and so like he would do stuff like that later in his life. But part of the reason why the Raiders weren't having success, you look at when the Raiders, their fall off directly coincides with the inception of free agency in the NFL. So once players had more mobility, all of that cutthroat stuff, it doesn't work the same if you're not winning. If you're winning and you're cutthroat, then people will tolerate it. But if you're not winning and you're cutthroat, and obviously the Raiders had ass facilities, and it's just it's like the training staff was trash. People talk about how bad the food. I was like the infrastructure for the Raiders was bad because Al, he didn't understand that side of things. That's what Mark understands, like to a great extent. That's why the Raiders, who've had what two winning seasons in the last 20 years, they're top 7 in NFL value. Like, there's no reason that should happen outside of you just having incredible business acumen. So that's what Mark Davis has, because generally it's only winning franchises because the Raiders were at several points in the history of the franchise, they were one of the lowest value teams in the entire NFL. So just Mark's business acumen and his moves he's made have catapulted them into the top 7, the top 10 for sure. I think some have it as a top 5 even value franchises in the NFL. So he's good at that side of things. As I said before, though, Mark doesn't know how to hire. And the thing that's bad when you don't know how to hire is that you can't hire somebody to hire for you because you don't know how to hire. So like it's like a double-edged sword. So you have to identify somebody that's already good at it.
You know what he's going after? Like when he was hiring, he was just going off like the people who have like the charisma or even like the confidence or the resume. He's like, oh man, he would be amazed off of that. Yeah. But like, he's not that guy to evaluate that because he's not a football guy. So for example, like Al, he would have hours and hours long conversations with Sean Payton. And like he identified Sean Payton early on, like, hey, like this is the guy I want. He interviewed Bill Belichick before, Bill Belichick was Bill Belichick. He interviewed, John Gruden before. So he was going after, like he knew who he should get. And at the same time, like who he could, who had that, who had the look, not the look of a head coach, who can be a head coach. And
Shanahan was a perfect one.
So, but Mark, for him, like, he just goes after like the big name, like the John Grudens. He's just amazed by them. You know what I mean? But he won't like know who's the up and coming, like, man, this is the bright, like, he won't know that. Like he like, do you understand what I'm saying? Cause it's been a while since like we hired a guy where like, man, like this is a bright mind, like, I guess you could say Josh McDaniels, but even Josh McDaniels, it was kind of like an obvious,
he's a known commodity.
Hella known, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's easy for like Mark Davis to be like, oh man, yeah, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, like
where do I sign on the dotted line?
Last cycle is a perfect example, right? It's like Ben Johnson was the hottest commodity of all the coaches, and then Pete Carroll, who was like,
Tom Brady wanted to get him.
But I'm sure, I'm sure we would still did the same thing, right? And Pete Carroll was the other one, where it's like, okay, it ain't no more known commodity than Pete Carroll. This is 74 years old, like you known like a motherfucker. So like people know he is, but like it's funny because it's almost like we was having a conversation off camera talking about like electronics. And like that's what Mark does. Like, Mark, you see the commercial? He like, oh man, look, they got this new. You feel me? Like they got the iPhone 26. Right? I gotta get the iPhone 26 now. Like instead of actually like, hey, doing the research. Like, let me see. Like, do I need this? Hey, do I really need? Like, is this something that's really going to be effective for me? Is this be good for this situation here? Does this fit in with like, hey, is this practical? Like he don't do nothing. He just go for the newest, the shiniest thing, and that's how they get you. Because people that don't do any research on this stuff, they just like, hey, bro, I saw 5 commercials for it. I'm gonna go buy that, and that's how they keep getting marked. They just see these commercials and the advertisements, and Mark's like, ooh, I gotta get me a Ben Johnson over, and so he goes after stuff like that instead of like sitting down and really understanding the technology and understanding, hey, these are the features and this is how it's gonna benefit me, and this, like he doesn't do none of that. He just shiny object. Yeah. And that's been our downfall.
Yeah. And I was on just to let y'all know, I was on Mark is the problem. Like, what hasn't changed in the last how many years with all these coaches and all these players and all these GMs, Mark. But when he had that, moment where he I think he spoke to Sean, and he was just like, yeah, I understand I'm not my father. And, my father had Ron Wolf back in the day, and he's seen how like beneficial that was. I need to get, a football guy that oversees the head coach, that oversees the GM. So when he said that, then I was like, you know what? Cool. At least he knows that. So that's why I kind of like was like, all right, well, let's let it play out. Let's see if we can. Yeah. But it's just, man, there's certain like things where I'm noticing a little bit. I'm like, oh man, please don't let this be where I think this might be. Like I said, that comment about the Max Crosby thing. But at the end of the day, Max is going to be a Raider. It is what it is. We've talked about this like a lot, like over the past few weeks or whatever. We'll see. We'll see if anything changes. But there is a situation where it can work with Max. I'm not saying that it can't work with Max. And I'm just trying to figure out creative ways I'm thinking of creative possibilities for the Raiders to like be good long term. How can they because right now, not gonna lie, looking at that defense, it's Like when you gotta think about like who can start on another team outside of Max Crosby. You gotta really think about it. You gotta go eat. You're like, man, maybe Butler. I don't know.
It stops there. It stops there.
Maybe, and that's a maybe, and that might not even be the case if you went through every roster, because teams drafted guys early in the first round, and like, is he gonna start over those guys that like first round picks? Probably not. Butler just got into that consistent starting role where he kind of had to fight his way. It's just I don't know, man. And then maybe Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, maybe a handful of teams. Maybe.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to really think about it, and that's the state of the Raiders' defense right now. The talent is just not there. Now, the offense, I think we do got some pieces on offense. And it starts with Brock Bowers. Oh, by the way, Brock Bowers, man, this dude. I wanted to tell you this, man, and I want to because I know you're gonna have your perspective on this. In my lifetime as a Raider fan. You know what I mean? And we got Raider fans that's witnessed all types of Raider teams and players. In my lifetime, he's the best player that I've ever seen from day one. Like, he's the most dominant player. Like, I've seen Khalil Mack, but Khalil Mack, it's that first year, he flashed a little bit. He had 4 sacks, but he's really good against the run. He flashed, like everybody knew that he was going to be something. But it wasn't like Brock Bowers where he came in the ground running like no one could guard me. And he was productive with a bad quarterback play. I was like, bro, this dude. And I told you and Mike, I was like, bro, this is a guy that can get. He's gonna be dominant for a long time. And then obviously, it doesn't matter if Geno's playing like ass. Like he's QB proof.
Yeah.
It don't matter who's there back there QB. He's going to dominate. He just gets open. He gets so open that like it's like quarterbacks playing in college where the windows are cute. Like you'd be like, oh my God, he's wide open. That's just Brock every play in the NFL. He's the best player that I've ever seen from day one. Just dominate the way he had, like as a Raider, like that got drafted into the Raiders. Like he's the best player. Charles Woodson, Charles Woodson was Charles Woodson, but I don't know if he was I don't know if he was this dominant, like right off the gate. Like he's the best tight end. He's the best tight end since last year.
Last year I would still have said Kittle. This year he's the best though.
Nah, bro. Like last year I was like, because I was watching it and it wasn't like, because Kittle has been hurt for the last 3 years, 2-3 years, like 3. Like if you want to be honest, like last 3-4 years, Kittle just gets hurt. Yeah.
We can't in the same sentence say Kittle's hurt and then Brock just missed 4 games. You'd be like, well, Brock, we can't do that.
Yeah, that's true. But
true. What I'm talking about, when they're on the field last year, I would have said Kittle's a better player. But this year, Brock overtook him.
I don't even know, man. I don't know if Kittle even last year, because like, man, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, Ritter. Like, these are the quarterbacks that he played with last year. Yeah. And he was still getting his. He was still getting his, like, he still was like, everybody knew the ball's going to him. Everybody knew that the ball's going to him. And he's still getting open. He's still, like, no one could, that's what makes him, like, no one could stop him. Like, he's unstoppable. Yeah. He's unstoppable. But yeah, like, I think he's the best to me. And I know people in the chat are like, oh man, like, you haven't seen, like Tim Brown will be the guy that like people will bring up a lot. But
yeah, but I didn't see, neither one of us saw Tim Brown as
like me personally, I seen the end of Tim Brown's prime. I seen like more the end of his prime. And I seen Jerry Rice, obviously, with the Raiders, but that was the end of his prime. But I had a lot of respect because at his age, he was still productive, still like, like he number one corner still had like trouble like guarding him one-on-one, But it wasn't dominant. Like this is, I've never seen like right drafted, boom, I'm the best. Like, it's not close. I don't even think it's like maybe that's the Raider fan being biased right now, but I don't even think
that's a Raider fan being biased.
I don't
He's
think it's
the
close,
best.
bro.
I think it's
close.
clear. I think it's clear, but it's
clear.
not.
It's
clear. It's not
clear.
as like.
Give him a quarterback. Give this man a quarterback. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? What record is he going to break? I think that's how good he's like playing. Like, come on,
it's,
like
it's clear, but it's not like it's not. He's not running away with it. It's close. There's other guys there, but it's clear he's the best guy. But like I said, he's not like leaps and bounds better than everybody else. But it's clear. It's a clear margin of victory. I would still say Mac. Because Mac. Think about it. Mac was. People look at I think he only had 4 sacks as a rookie, but he split time between a pass rusher and a linebacker.
Yeah.
So like he was dominant at both roles. Year 2, then he went all pro at 2 positions. It's like it was clear. It's harder to see defensive dominance. Like it's easy to see catches, it's easy to see touchdowns when you're a dominant defender and you make teams like adjust their entire game plan to go away from you or to nullify you or to depress your impact on the game. Like it's hard for the naked eye to see, and it's even more difficult for laymen to see, right? Because they're not looking for that. They're looking for he run, tackle, sack, catch. That's what normal people, because normal people they're not getting into the weeds of football like that. Like they just like it's there for entertainment. So it's not there for them. Like they don't look at the game at that way. But the Khalil Mack came in day 1. Like, man, Merrill Hodge every week. Merrill Hodge was like, my God, he's like every single week he was doing a video on
Merrill Hodge called it. He called it before the draft. He says Khalil Mack should be the number 1 player. This is a generational player. Like I was like, damn, like I wanted the Raiders to draft Khalil Mack. But now Mack was the guy that I was thinking about the most, like as far as like who was dominant from day 1. But like he did have 4 sacks, but it didn't stop him from being like I don't know how to describe it. Like you said, it is easier to see like offensive players be dominant than a defensive player. But even though like he was a defender, I didn't take that away from him. It was just, damn, that second year he did he was all pro in 2 positions. That's crazy. Has that ever been done before? I don't even think that's ever been done.
I don't think it's ever been done before.
That man, Mac was a monster, bro. He was a monster.
But man, Brock is doing stuff that's never been done before too. Like on offensive side of the ball of guys I've seen on the offensive side of the ball, it's clearly Brock. The only person that would really be in a conversation with Brock would be probably Bo. But like I didn't see Bo, like I only seen highlights. I've only seen like stuff on YouTube. I wasn't there to like witness it and experience it.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I made sure to say that like that I witnessed. Like,
exactly.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
like
I'm
older
sure
people would say Bo and some other people, but like for me, on offensively, it's clearly Brock. It's like it's not even really anybody even like close offensively, to be honest, and that's low-key sad more than anything. That is low-key just sad.
And it's also and it's also like Raiders have something. Raiders have something. We have a blue chip player. Shit, if Telesco did anything right, man, he got Brock. He got Brock on the Raiders, and they could build around him and from years to come. So on offense, we do have some pieces, starting with Brock. Tucker is coming into his own in his 3rd year. From there, we gotta see these young rookies. I don't want to anoint none of these guys until I can see what Besh is gonna have every opportunity. He's gonna have every opportunity. Real quick, let me address the super chat. My guy, LS, man, I appreciate the super chat. My guy, man. He says Mark isn't able to sit down with young upcoming coaches because he doesn't have the knowledge that Al did. Mark falls for used car salesman tactics every time. See, look, hey, LS, man, you know what we talking about. We're all on the same wavelength, and I think that's why Mark is seeking out help to help him find his guy. That's why that's why I'm like, all right, you know what? If we can get someone there that's like, that knows what he's doing and at least has an idea of like, okay, and hopefully that's Tom Brady. But there's also a little bit of like, damn, like Tom Brady was a great player, but is he a great executive? That, we don't know. We don't know that yet. So we're gonna figure that out. But at least like we're doing something different. We're not doing the same thing over and over again, trying to expect different results. And what we were doing before Tom Brady came in the building was relying on Mark Davis to make football decisions.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm hoping that stops. I'm hoping that Tom Brady takes the lead, and from what it sounds like, he is like, but he doesn't want the publicity. He doesn't want no one to know, which is kind of funny because like I'm sure he probably doesn't. I'm sure he knows that like he's probably gonna make some mistakes, and he doesn't want the attention from the bad mistake because they're gonna talk about it. They're gonna definitely talk about it. But
I mean, yeah, I mean, like I've been a defender of Mark for the most part. I think Mark, if he knew how to hire people, that's his glaring. Because everything else, Mark is a guy that obviously loves the team, good business acumen, is not using the team like for his own personal wealth. He's actually, the money he makes, he's investing back into the team. And it's not like, but like behind the scenes investments. It's like tangible stuff. It's a practice facility in Henderson. It's a new stadium. It's a state-of-the-art weight room. It's the best training staff in the NFL. It's the best nutritional staff. And like, you see the results. You see the report card that we get every single year in terms of like his grades for what he's doing. He gets high marks from everybody. It's like he loves the team. He's willing to spend money on the team. He's willing to debase himself and kiss whoever ass he needs to kiss for the betterment of the team. It's just that he don't know what the hell he's doing in terms of hiring the right football people, and that is the most glaring need. And if he can get that part figured out, and like it could be a situation he can't figure it out at all. It could be a situation it's just not in the cards for him. And if that's the case, like, we won't be good until he sells the team, because he's tried multiple times to give it to multiple people, and each time it's been a failure. So at some point, the epicenter of failure is Mark Davis. So like it might just be a situation where he has to, because this is the fourth iteration of him trying to hand it off to somebody, and if it don't work this time, like, he just got bad juju.
Right. I mean, we'll see. Coach says. Now imagine how much better he'll be with good coaching. Scary to think about. Yeah, just I kept it at quarterback. Just imagine him with a better quarterback, like a more talented guy that's going to be able to give him the ball consistently in different situations. I never bought into because people try to like nitpick Brock and be like, oh well, he didn't have enough touchdowns. That has nothing to do with him. We know it has nothing to do with him because he gets open with ease. It's the quarterback play, the inconsistencies there, the play calling in the red zone. Obviously, within the last year, there's two offensive coordinators last year. Like, there's a lot of different issues, a lot of different moving parts. This year, it's kind of been more the same. It's been a struggle. I mean, this year is more about injuries. He hasn't been healthy. But, man, brace off, 3 touchdowns.
Exactly.
Just like that. Did he have a touchdown that first game? I don't know if he had a touchdown.
I don't think so.
I don't know if he had a
did he? I don't recall. I mean, but because he only had 4 last year, I want to say. So
I know he
had
balled out the first game. I know he had like
he balled out. He had crazy amount of yards. I don't remember if he had a touchdown or not. But like he had 3 this last game. Like he only had 4 the entire year last year. So he was already on pace to destroy the touchdown numbers he put up last year. So
yeah, man. But someone says Rich Gann needs to come out of retirement. Nah, man. He needs to stay retired, bro. He's gonna hurt himself. Yeah, like his career ended, like, if you guys remember, it was that Tampa Bay game.
Yeah, the neck injury.
Yeah, the neck injury. Yep.
Yeah. Was it Derek Brooks? Was it Derek Brooks? No, it wasn't Derek. It was somebody else that smacked him.
I just remember he tried. It was at the red zone. He tried to go in for a touchdown or whatever, and it just, you could tell like he was done after that. He was like basically in his 40s at that time, but neck injuries, older, it's not a good combination, bro. In a physical sport like football, forget about it, bro. Like that's not even nothing to play with.
Yeah.
I just seen some recently too with like, Steve Nash. I guess Steve Nash does a podcast with LeBron James, and he has Steph Curry on there, and he was talking about like, man, like he messed up his like he broke a bone and hit a nerve, and he had a lot of nerve issues, back issues, and he's trying to get back to health, and he was just trying to finally, get back on the court, but he still wasn't like getting over the injury, so he just wanted to test it out and see like, all right, only way if I can make this work is I'm gonna have to play hurt, see if I can make it happen. It was a preseason game. It was against the Warriors. It was against Steph Curry, and Steph Curry just basically, he was just like, yeah, after that game, like, I called it quits. I was like, I couldn't hang, bro. Like, he was just like, I guess Steph, was like just going crazy on him. Like, he was going through screens and just he couldn't keep up, and like his body couldn't hold up or whatever. But you know what happened at the end of his career? Like his body broke down. Like as far as injuries and stuff like that.
It was a wrap. Yeah, it was a wrap.
It was over.
He was held together by like super glue at that point, man. They was having to put him together, like, just get on the floor.
Negative. It was Tucker and Genty.
Talking about who scored. Yeah. I remember at one point, Tucker was the only receiver at one point that had caught a touchdown pass from Geno, and it was like that way for a long time.
Yeah. That's what I thought. It was Derrick Brooks.
It was Derrick Brooks. Okay. So I couldn't remember if it was like a no name, like not a, or like it might have been like a safety, but it must have been Derrick Brooks.
Yeah, man. We appreciate everybody pulling up. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are going live on both our channels. So if it's your first time joining us, definitely subscribe to both. Definitely clock in, as we like to say on this channel, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. But yeah, man, going back to that game, man. Going back to that Raiders game. Probably the best game of the year, best game of the season, is from an entertainment standpoint. Like, you were watching the game from beginning to end, and like you were like, oh man, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was watchable. Coming off a bye week, same thing with the Jaguars. They're also coming off a bye week. Probably gonna be my last time picking the Raiders to win this season. I was like, come on, man. And Geno, like, he played better, but man, like, watching him play, it's just his head is hitting that ceiling, man. Like, it's just, he is what he is, bro. And what he is like, what's gonna make it work with him, especially this year, especially how bad he's been, like, how it's been a struggle for him this year. A guy like Brock can really like make him look better than what he is. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna make it that much easier for him to get off. But like, I thought it was interesting that they demoted Dante Thornton. Jack Bech didn't get any snaps, and Tyler Lockett was getting snaps. I was just like, what are we doing, man? When I seen that, and again, once again, the two defensive linemen were inactive, JJ Pegues and Hemingway. So that was like about 3 or 4 rookies that were inactive that game. I'm like, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? But it made sense though, because a day later, Pete Carroll was asked about, like, making moves at the trade deadline. Oh, I guess we'll save that. We'll save that. That's a flag on the play, But as far as the game, man, like, I was just watching it. I mean, it was entertaining, but I wanted the Raiders to win. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I seen it, I know what's on the line. I know what's on the line, y'all. Strategic substitutions. I get it. Let the young guys play. We all know what that means. We need the Raiders to get a top pick. But when it was close, I was like, all right, man, they deserve to win, man.
That was your pick 'em. That was your pick. No. That was your pick 'em. That was the pick 'em talking. That was your upset pick. That was your pick 'em pick talking. That's all that was. Clearly, maybe. It was a pick 'em pick talking, because that was the perfect result. That was a perfect game for me, man. Like, it was entertaining. We saw Brock ball out. We saw Jakobi have some moments. We saw Trey have some moments. We saw Genty have some moments. We saw Max play well. We saw Adam Butler flash. We saw, well, at least Darian Porter was able to get some extended playing time. 2 mixed results. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. I think he was better than Caillou. So that was a little bit some positive signs there, and it was close down to the wire. He got some extra football for free, and we lost. Didn't lose draft position. That is like, I was like, oh man, this is just a slice of heaven, right? I was like, this is perfect. This is
That's
perfect,
funny,
man. Bro. It's a competitive game. The Raiders fans got what they wanted. I get to talk crap about Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll still. And, it was like we could still rag on Geno for throwing an interception. Like we got a little bit of everything. Everybody got something that they wanted out of that game. So it was cool.
Yeah, but it was just like, man, like it just felt like the Thanos type losses this season was completed. You know what I mean? We had the blowouts.
Yeah.
We had the losses, but there was one loss that was missing. It was the close game. You know what I mean? The game where you'd be like, oh, okay, this Raiders gonna win this, right? Oh, look, Brock is having an amazing game. We're at home. And it's like, oh, okay. Geno isn't playing terrible, but the defense obviously. The defense is what it is. I don't know how people are getting shocked. And this is where I kind of get. This is where I'm gonna have a little pushback, because a lot of people want to talk about like the coaching on that side of the football. But I'm not gonna lie. How can you even say that when it's just there's nobody there? No one is. Like, Max is getting doubled almost every time he's out there. He's getting doubled. So I'm just saying, who's gonna step up?
Yeah. Well, Adam Butler's getting doubled more than Max, to be honest with you. And that's what they're sending chips Max way consistently. They're chipping him a lot. Adam Butler's taking on the bulk of the double teams, and to be real with you. So, Max should be the guy that should be taking over games, because outside of chips, like he's getting a lot of one-on-ones, and then Kuntz as well. Kuntz is getting plenty of one-on-ones too. Max is obviously doing Max things, but Kuntz, he has not been the same. And we kind of speculated like sometimes it takes that year for you to get back into the swing of things, but he's not back into the swing of things as of yet, because he's getting plenty of one-on-ones. He's been basically ineffective the entire year. Even got a penalty at one point. Like, bro, you can't be making any plays.
I'm not seeing Butler make plays, bro. I seen him make.
Oh, you didn't see him make plays last game?
I'm not seeing him get to the quarterback. I'm not seeing him pressure the quarterback. I'm not seeing that.
Look at the double team rate. He's been double teamed more than anybody on his team. Just watch it. Just watch the game and see. Just watch the defensive line and look who they send doubles at. It's not Max. They send chips at Max. They're not sending doubles at Max.
I don't know.
Like I'm telling you, I don't know. Watch it. That's what I was saying. All I was saying is watch it.
I don't know. Look. Maybe I could. Maybe if you say it from this perspective, obviously he's in the inside. Like
exactly.
Like he's inside, so he's gonna be the guard and the center is probably gonna double him more than let's say Max Crosby. But I don't know, man. Max, but to speak to your point though, Max did admit though. I was watching him talk about how like that last game, not this game, but the Chiefs game, he was going into it hurt, and even before he kind of got little dirty play that happened. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Max.
Yeah.
When Max left the game, everybody thought he left the game just because of that dirty play. That contributed to it. But even before then, Max was like, I wasn't even myself, because I was like, I tweaked my back or something like that during a drill, and I tried everything to get back, but I didn't have it even before that play. Like he was talking about that. So he's talking about the Chiefs game or whatever. But he said like this game he was a little bit rusty, but he started getting it going. I think he ended up getting the sack as well. And then like Max in the run game, that's what makes Max so great, is the fact that he can get to the quarterback and also be dominant in the run game. Like I'm talking about like at will. Like I think in the goal line, like I want to say single-handedly was like making plays where he was penetrating and getting tackled for losses. I think he had like at least one or two in the red zone.
One for sure. Yeah, he had that one for sure. Probably two. I remember one for sure. Where he was actually, I think he's lined up on the opposite side too. He's lined up over on the offense's left and on the defense's right, and he made a play where he cut in the backfield and tackled. I think it was Etienne on a very important play. So like they were moving him around. Like this first time I can recall, maybe we've done it before, I just didn't notice it. But this first time I recall him like not just being strictly lined up over the right tackle. He's actually playing some over the left tackle as well. So that was a little bit of interesting wrinkle, and that's what we should be doing with him. Like he shouldn't be in the same spot all the time. But yeah, I mean, but like I said, Max is our best defensive player. He's been playing the best defensive and been playing as the best defensive player this year. So that's not a question. It's not even a question how good he's been, but just statistically, like Adam Butler is the guy that's taking on all the double teams. So like conceivably, other guys should be productive around him, because he's getting a lot of the defense's attention. And when he's not double teamed, you see this game. Well, even this game, he was double teamed more than anybody. But times when he wasn't, it's times like I think the first play of the game, instead of doubling him, they doubled Lualu. And what happened? Adam Butler crashed.
There's only one play that I can remember that Butler made last game where I think
he made two plays the first drive. He made.
It was a tackle for loss. I think it might have been.
He probably had two TFLs. Their first drive, he had two TFLs. I want to say.
I don't know about two, but I know I remember one. I remember one, but but yeah, man. On that side of the football, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I see teams just take it, it's like it is what it is. Like this is something that I seen coming before the season. This is one of the overreactions that I had before the season where I'm like, hey, the defense is gonna be terrible. Guess what? It is terrible. You're getting exposed. They get exposed against what? They get exposed against good quarterbacks. Not to say that Lawrence 100% fits in that category, but they will get exposed by good offensive coordinators. Because they just got a lot of pieces where it's just like, you don't even know, like, that the linebacker, you don't know if the linebackers are coming back next year. There's probably going to be another new starting corner next year. Safety, there's probably gonna be another new starting safety, probably maybe even two. You know what I mean? Up to two, maybe one start new safety. So there's gonna be a lot of moving parts, most likely after this season. And it's just the reality of the situation. They just don't have a lot of talent on that side. But I felt like the defense was probably the reason why they lost. It felt like they really couldn't. They couldn't really stop the Jaguars. I felt like the Jaguars were just every short yardage. I'm not gonna lie. I gave them credit. I gave the Raiders credit this season. I'm like, hey, if there's one thing they can hang their hat on, is that they've been pretty solid against the run, but they could not stop them. They could not stop, Travis Etienne or whoever was back there. I know that they got that rookie running back, Tootin. He was getting some yards. I don't think they finished with a whole bunch of yards, but at the same time, it just felt like every short yardage situation they got. Yeah. Every time they needed a first down, they got. Lawrence was he after that terrible interception he had in the red zone, he was basically in control of the game. But yeah, it is. I feel like the defense kind of lost it offensively. It was the Brock Bowers show. Hey, one thing I will say, Chip didn't do a bad job this game. I ain't gonna lie. Like I didn't think Chip kind of like, all right, he did some things. He did some things where he had there was that one play where he had what's the tight end? Michael Mayer at fullback. That's one of the things people were like, oh, we should have Michael Mayer. He had Michael Mayer at fullback. He had and I think it was a run play where I think Genty got like almost 13 yards at that play. It might have been like
it's like the first drive, then probably.
Yeah, it might have been the first drive where you see Michael Mayer at fullback. You see obviously Brock is. The only thing I will say, there were moments where I was just like scratching my head. I was like, there was that 4th and 1 play. I was questioning a little bit, like I don't know what they were doing. Like they had Brock Bowers blocking, and then Michael Mayer down the field. They threw a play action pass to Michael Mayer down the field. I was like, what are we doing there? It didn't make any sense. But
yeah.
But as far as getting Genty involved in the pass game, that's what I've been asking for the longest time. They finally did it, and it makes a difference. Getting him in space is should be like an emphasis, like his whole career. Like, get him in space. Like, there shouldn't be no reason why like you shouldn't get this guy in space. And they found ways to do that, especially in the red zone. Every time he gets close to that red zone, for some reason he finds a way. Like if you get him one-on-one with a DB or one-on-one situation, he sniffs the end zone. He's getting the touchdown.
He had the nice, obviously like a little pseudo screen pass where the guy missed the tackle, and I think anybody else laid a finger on him after that. He was like, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm just gonna walk into the end zone. But a lot of it was just check downs. I just think in the past we weren't taking them. Like we like Geno just wasn't taking the because they're ignoring him. Like they're literally just leaving him by himself. So there's yards there to be had. We just weren't taking them. So now we're finally okay. Damn, let's get it to Genty. Obviously, I think the touchdown that looked like that was actually a design, like a little screen to him. But like there are opportunities for him to get involved in the passing game. We just weren't utilizing them. And we've had Michael Mayer at fullback like a bunch this year. That's what I'm saying. Like people, it's just that was a good play. So it's stuck in people's minds. So like it was executed properly. So that's why I was like, oh man, I remember that play when Michael Mayer's in the backfield. Like people look a lot at the result of the play and not the play itself. And it's like, okay, well, if the play didn't get yards, this was a good play. If it did get yards, if it didn't get yards, it's bad. If it did get yards, it's good. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's a good play call. These guys not executing. Perfect example, you look at the 2-point conversion. That was a great call. Like a few people were, three people were open on that play, right? But obviously the defense made a play. So what do people say after the game? You know, I'm not a Pete Carroll defender. It's like, oh, it would be Pete Carroll who calls a pass play and but like, nah, the guy was wide ass open. No, it's just that Jakobi was wide open too. So it's like just the defense made a play, but what do? They criticize the play call because the result of the play. So,
but Geno did kind of hesitate a little bit though.
Geno hesitated because I think Tyler Lockett ran the wrong route, to be honest with you. It looked like he should have ran the corner route right there. Because it looks like Geno was about to throw it to the corner, and then like Tyler Lockett just like sat down because he was so wide, like nobody went with him. So he was like, well, damn, I'm just gonna sit right here. So I think that's why Geno pumped. Because like that route concept for him, like hanging right there, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. So like I think he was supposed to run the corner, and like he didn't. He ran the opposite way. But he was still wide ass open because like I forgot who. I think Trey, like 3 people went with Trey and 2 people like just stood at the goal line. So Tyler Lockett was basically standing in the back of the end zone all alone. And if the defender doesn't make a play there, like obviously we won the game. So whoever we draft this next year, I'd like to thank that guy for that draft pick.
No, facts. Yeah, man. It was just I felt like the offense probably had their best showing overall. We didn't. I'm not gonna lie, we did kind of get away from the run game, but when Brock is just getting open at will, like it's so easy. I feel like it's so easy just to like just give him the ball, just give him the ball because he's just getting open at will. We'll see what it looks like forward. That's the only critique. I was like, they kind of got away from like Genty a little bit in the run game, but then at the same time, like the defense wasn't stopping anybody, and it wasn't the fact that they weren't stopping anybody. They were long drives.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like they were scoring real fast on the defense and like they went back to the off. It was like they were long drives and then they were scoring. Like it was just like, and it didn't really give the offense a lot of opportunity. They had to like obviously keep up with the team. But it is what it is. Raiders obviously lost the game, but like you said, I guess one step closer to possibly getting a QB. But if you look at like Tankathon, they're still like number 8 or 7. That's how bad some of these teams are playing. Like, the Jets have 1 win. There's a few teams that only got 1 win. And I think what's hurting the Raiders too is like even the teams that have 2 wins, the way the tiebreaker is, it's like strength of schedule.
Yeah.
So like even if they're tied up with somebody, since the Raiders schedule is like hard, like the team with the weaker schedule, obviously if they have the same record, that means they're probably worse because they lost against probably worse teams overall. So I guess that's what it is. But it is what it is. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Yeah, man. So Jakobi, man, he got traded.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Jakobi finally got traded, man. He got traded to the Jaguars of all teams, the team that they just played. And I said earlier that Mike Silver kind of reported on it. Well, he didn't actually say it, but that Monday he came out with an article talking about the state of the team, the Raiders, and all that. But he did notice that Jakobi kind of spent some time talking to a lot of the big, that the from the owners, the GMs, and the coach. Like he was talking to them for a long period of time. Yeah. So he noticed that. Now when I seen that, I was like, what, the Jaguars? I never really looked at him like that. It was kind of random. Like I guess, but what to think about it? Travis Hunter did get hurt.
Travis Hunter IR. Brian Thomas Jr. has been dropping everything. It's like dropping everything. Like so, and then the other kid from Penn State whose name escapes me right now. He's been dropping a lot of passes this year too. So I mean, Jakobi's probably, if not the most short-handed receiver in the NFL, he's like top 5 most short-handed guys in the NFL. So like. They basically just like look, give us somebody that will catch the ball. Like we'll worry about everything else later. Give me a guy that will just catch it consistently, and that's something that Jakobi's been doing, especially like the last few years. We know last season he had like 0% drop rate. Like that's gonna be right up, the Jacksonville's alley in terms of like just a dependable receiver, and that's what they need right now. So and to think about in order for this game to be close. Jacksonville had to essentially be without Travis Hunter the entire game. Brian Thomas Jr. got dinged up. De'Ami Brown went out. Walker got kicked out of the game. Devin Lloyd, who's in my opinion is their best defensive player, he's not out there. I think they had some corners that got hurt. Like it took all of that just for us to barely lose. Like that's how bad we are. That's how bad we are as a team. It took all of that for us to still barely lose at home. Like it's crazy. With Brock scoring 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Like, and it's crazy, man. Because like going back to the trade itself, I thought Spytek did a really good job, man, in getting a 4th and a 6th for Jakobi. And the way he played it was like we only want a day 2 pick to the very last minute. We only want a day 2 pick. Realistically, Devontae got traded for a 3rd-round pick last year. And Devontae's a way better player than Jakobi. Like, he's way more accomplished, way more productive. He's just a better player, I can go on and on. And he went for a 3rd-round pick. So, if you look at it from that perspective, there is no way the Raiders were going to get a 2nd, 3rd unless, something crazy happened. But the way Spytek played it, he was like, nah, this is what we want until the very last minute. I'm sure, I don't know if there's probably a few teams that were probably bidding, and the Jaguars came with that 4th and 6th. I feel like that's a pretty good deal for Jakobi Meyers on the way out. You're getting two picks in next year's draft. So I think Spytek, when it comes to these trades, he's done some good things. Even if you go back to the draft where he traded down, I thought he did a good job. And the only reason why I'm making
mixed bag.
I feel like from trade down perspective, I thought he got some picks he got some. I didn't think he did. I don't think looking back at when he did trade down, I didn't think the draft haul that he got. I felt like he did a really good job of just maximizing, because going into the draft, I think the Raiders had 7 picks. It was less than 10, right?
It was less than 10. Yeah, they had a bunch. Yeah, it was less than 10. It's I think they had 8. They had 2 picks in one round, I thought.
Yeah, so he was able to maximize the Raiders. I think his goal was we need to get more picks, more guys. Now, if you want to argue how these picks are faring, that's a whole different conversation, and there's a lot of arguments to be made to see basically they're not out there, they're not playing, or what have they done? That's a whole different conversation. But what I'm saying is as far as from a trade down perspective, he's able to get some nice value in some of those trades that he's had. I've experienced McKenzie trades were disgusting.
Yeah.
If you remember, McKenzie was a good talent evaluator. He had his moments where obviously that 2014 draft, for him to get starters, I'm talking about guys that play in the league. Even the drafts where people questioned his 2nd round picks, or certain guys they questioned we're still playing in the league. I remember Mario Edwards. I think he might be still playing.
He's still in the league.
Still in the league.
Jahad Ward still in the league. Only one that's not is PJ Hall and Obi Melifonwu were the only two guys I think that's not in the league anymore.
Yeah,
but those are both.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, if we're being real, like all GMs are gonna have that, and that's the reality that I think. I think that like fans don't have is that like they think that a good GM every draft is gonna be crazy, like every draft is gonna be great or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the trade calls, I'm like, all right, he's doing some good things. I mean, the way he's able to get some value back. The only trade that where you could have probably argue with maybe is
not even probably. You already know. Ain't no probably about it.
but hey, the thing is though, I don't know. I can't even an argument could be made, and the trade that we're talking about is a Jacorian Bennett.
Oh no, not even that. I ain't talking about that. I don't even care about. I'm talking about round 2 of the NFL draft, where Will Johnson is sitting there, and instead of just taking a guy who was potentially, even at that point, I already said he was one of the guys I looked at 6. You haven't been sitting there in the second round, bro. Just take him. Just take it. Like they're literally giving you a top flight talent at corner. Just take it. And instead of doing that, he tried to get fancy with the trade downs. And out of the trades he made, I think we ended up with Jack Bech and Caleb Rogers. Jack Bech has been invisible. Caleb Rogers ain't been active all year. So it's like,
but Will Johnson fell though. Will Johnson fell all the way to that first trade down, and he got picked right before they could make a pick.
He got picked. No, he got picked He got picked like 2 slots before, and then as soon as Will Johnson got picked, we traded down again. So that's my point. Is he should have just took him where we were at instead of playing games. He should have just picked the player there. So
yeah, but I think he wanted to get more picks. I think.
But see but when you have that type of talent sitting on the board, you don't play around with that. You just take the talent.
But why did he fall though? It's because of injuries, and guess what? He's been hurt this year too as well. I think he's been hurt, and he's been infinitely better than either of the guys we got. See, that's like he's infinitely better than either of the guy we got out of the trade. We'll see. Darian Porter, he needs to get an opportunity to develop. We'll see how it shakes out with him. He should have been out there, but like. I get it. I mean, you can make an argument about that, but like, literally the entire league passed on him. The Eagles passed up on him. You know what I mean? Like,
the Eagles just drafted the corner drafted the corner, and they drafted the corner in the first round last year in Quinyon.
Yeah, but they're trading for corners like left and right.
Because Keely Ringo got hurt. That's part of the reason. Or somebody got hurt.
They traded for Jacorian Bennett during training camp.
Yeah.
Jacorian Bennett got hurt, and you just mentioned Ringo got hurt, and they've made a couple of trades, I think, for corners again. So they've been trading. They've been active in the trade market because that's a team that's gonna want to compete for a Super Bowl. So they're gonna trying to shore up some of the holes.
My point is, like, at the time they didn't need a corner. That's what I'm saying. Like, Eagles passed on it, but at the time they didn't need a corner. Like, so it's like you can't like criticize them because like hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is like we needed a corner. We know we needed a corner. The Eagles didn't necessarily know they needed a corner. They drafted 2. They drafted DeGene and they drafted Quinyon Mitchell last year.
No, they signed Adoree Jackson, and their plan was to have a competition. It was a competition between him and Ringo. Yeah. So there wasn't really a concrete like, oh yeah, we're good. Like, they still didn't know who was going to be the star. That's why they traded for Jacorian Bennett, because those guys didn't really,
because they got injuries too. The injuries. That's why. And then
not for Jacorian. There was a battle there. There was actually like Ringo and Adoree Jackson were healthy at the time when Jacorian Bennett got traded for in training camp.
I thought one of them got hurt in training camp, and that's when they made the trade.
Nah, it came down to the wire where like, they thought like, oh man, like some Eagles fans thought Jacorian might be a starter, but then Adoree ended up holding on to that spot, and then from there, like, the rest is history. Like, obviously,
they both got hurt.
Yeah, they both got hurt eventually, and that's why, like, you could say that Spytek won that trade in that not that Booker has been all that great. It's just like,
Yeah.
damn, Ja'Cory just can't stay healthy, bro.
Can't stay healthy. Yeah. Yeah. It's working. It's working under the assumption that he would have been hurt here, which knowing Ja'Cory probably would have been. So
Yeah. And the thing is, you're arguing about like who he should have took, but I'm just talking about like what he got in, what he's getting in trades, like as far as the value that he's getting in trades.
Yeah.
He's not. It's not a situation where like, damn, like that's all we got. That's not how I feel when he's trading down or he's making trades. Like I'm like, damn, that's actually a pretty solid deal. Like, I haven't seen that in a while. I haven't seen that too much with a lot of the past regimes.
But that's the thing. That's the thing I warn people against. I never look at the cost of something. I never look at how much something cost me or how much the sticker price is or how much it cost. You look at opportunity cost. So if I don't buy this item, what else would I do with this money? And sometimes the opportunity cost is like investing, or sometimes it's saving, and sometimes it's, it could be something else. But you don't look at the cost. You look at what else would I do with this asset if I don't use it on this particular thing. So if we didn't use that asset on that particular trade, we end up with Will Johnson, who when healthy was far and away the best defensive rookie in the league and one of the best corners in the league, bar none. So like, I don't care what you got trading down, and you got 2 4ths and a 5th. I don't give a damn about any of that, because it costs you the opportunity to draft a potential perennial all-pro player.
We'll see, man. They didn't want to take the risk on injury, bro, and that was like literally the majority of the league. I mean, if he was healthy, he would have went in the first round. He would have went in the first round.
But
he would have went in the first round. He would have went in the first round if he didn't have those red flags. So how can you blame the Raiders when the entire league passed on him? He was a first round talent, and the entire league passed on him. Now, if he didn't have those injury red flags, that wouldn't have happened, right? So like you can't.
So that's why you make the intelligent move, and same thing with Brock. Part of the reason Brock failed at 13 is because he was banged up and he couldn't participate in the combine. So that's part of why
he fell, because he was a tight end, bro. Come on, he was a tight end, bro.
But people still had him going top 5. People still had him going early, but he couldn't participate. That's part of the reason why he failed. And then we drafted him at 13 despite him being nicked up, and it worked out. He didn't participate in any combine drills.
So let me ask you this. I'm just curious. Has there ever been a tight end that went top 5? I'm trying to think. Has there
top
ever been
5? Top 5. I don't know. The Kyle Pitts went high. He went top 10. Jeremy Shockey, I think, went pretty high, but that high, I don't. Not that I recall.
And that's my point. And that's my point. Brock, at the end of the day, he's a tight end. Now, I'm sure if they do a redraft, they're like, oh my God. Yeah. Brock it might go up a little bit, but quarterback is still going to be a quarterback. They're still going to be valued high. Offensive linemen are still offensive linemen. They're still going to get valued high, because a lot of the number 5 that you might have been thinking about was the Chargers, right? The Chargers at the time were the team that was mocked to getting Brock. But at the end of the day, Jim Harbaugh likes to build his team a certain way, and that's through the trenches. And there was no way he was going to pass up on drafting Joe Alt. So it was like, come on, bro. Like Brock was not going to go. In my opinion, he was not going to go top 5. I've never seen a tight end go that high, but Kyle Pitts went number 8, and that's probably the highest that I could think of.
That I can recall. DJ said Kyle Pitts went 4th. Scratch that. He went 4th. Maybe
4th.
Maybe I'm thinking about OJ Howard. OJ Howard maybe went 8th then. Maybe it's OJ Howard.
Kyle Pitts went 4th.
People say Kyle Pitts.
No, that is terrible.
People say Kyle Pitts was the best player in the draft that year.
They compared him to is the Darren Waller too.
Yeah. So okay, man. Maybe look up where OJ Howard went. Maybe I'm thinking OJ Howard.
He got drafted 4th. That's wild.
Look at where OJ Howard.
Oh went. Yeah, he got drafted 4th overall. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta's tripping. They tripping on that one.
He was considered the best player in the draft. I mean, There's somebody that went. And he put up 1,000 yards as a rookie. There's somebody that got sixth overall. So I wouldn't be saying nobody. Look, I wouldn't be saying this. He was the first tight end since. Oh wow, I think he might have been the first tight end since.
I got actually. I that's a good little trivia question. How many tight ends got drafted in the top
19.
5?
Damn. Okay, I'm tripping.
How many or the top 10?
19.
How many? Let me see. Damn, man, that is wild. He went 4th.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was top 10, like somewhere like you said, number 8.
Yeah. So OJ Howard went 19th. I know he went to Tampa Bay, but they say he went 19th. And damn, who got drafted?
I thought OJ Howard. I thought he was going to be good too. Injuries kind of messed up his career though a little bit.
He's another guy. They said he was the safest pick in the first round, and he turned out to be a bust. But yeah, but like I said, it's revisionist history. But in terms of value, like I said, I always look at opportunity cost. Like the fact that he was there, available for you. Like you don't all right, take him. Like he's falling for a reason. He's there. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just pull the trigger.
It's not that I didn't want Will Johnson, but it's just like, man, like he had the injury red flag. That's the reason why he dropped. And all these teams pass, including the Raiders. Yeah. You know what I mean? And a lot of these teams that are passing, some of these guys are, you know what I mean? Like these are respected GMs in the NFL. If you don't want to include Spytek in that because he's a new GM, there's some respect. And they didn't want to take that risk. Raiders didn't want to take that risk, right? It is what it is.
The thing is, you didn't want to take that risk in the first round. It was fine. Second round is where you do it. We have an opportunity. So if you don't want to take that risk in the first round, cool. But in the second round, that's where you take that risk. And obviously, we didn't do it. So, like I said, I automatically ding for that.
Since 2000, 4 tight ends have been selected in the top 10. Kyle Pitts, T.J. Hawkinson, Vernon Davis, Kellen Winslow. Kellen Winslow was nice coming out too.
Out of Miami, yeah, he was a dog. Yeah. Okay.
And Vernon Davis he had a slow start to his career, but he was a beast too.
Yeah, T.J. Hawkinson, man, because that year that Iowa had 2 tight ends. They had T.J. Hawkinson and Noah Fant. I think they both went first round that year, which is crazy.
Yeah, but they haven't really. I mean, T.J. probably a little bit more than Noah Fant, but Noah Fant's still talented, but it's just not as.
Yeah, he's just not.
He hasn't like Damn. Yeah, man. Tight ends don't really. 9 tight ends have been taken in the first round since 2011, but the league has opted not to select one in the first round in 6 of the last 12 drafts.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's just about value too. At the end of the day, like it got to be like I guess they got to be some type of game changing talent or whatever. They got to believe.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of those guys were considered either safest pick in the draft or like one of the top players or one of the top players in the draft. Like that's what you kind of have to be, to get drafted that high. Most tight ends, they're drafted later on. Because Sam Laporta, even Sam Laporta was second. I think he was a second. Dalton Kincaid went first round. I think Sam Laporta went first round too.
2021 draft.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid went.
Pitts was the highest drafted tight end, I believe it. 4th overall. That's I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of depressing though.
Yeah.
I mean, drafting a tight end at number like 4th over, like what?
Yeah.
But to be fair though, Pitts did have like the hype.
Yeah,
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000 yards as a rookie.
No, just him just coming out like he had that like people comparing to Darren Waller. They're like, man, it's like a wide receiver at tight end. It's like he had he's like 6'5", 4'3", 4'4" speed. You know what I mean? Like what? Yeah. Hey, where would you have Brock? Would you say 4'4", 4'5"? Because he has that pull away. Like he pulls away from defenders.
Yeah. See, I think it's hard because he's a long strider. So like I think his speed it builds up over time because he's like that's how usually tall guys are. But I'll put it probably like low 4, like high 4.4s, probably high 4.4s. I'll put him in that realm.
Yeah, he's not. But you see what I'm saying? He ain't bad, Brock though.
But
he's not Brock.
He's not 4th overall. But see, like Look, don't do it, Pharaoh. Don't do it because you already know where the conversation going. Don't do it. You know exactly where the conversation going. So
yeah, I know where you about to take it. Eric Ebron was disgusting. Yeah, he went was he with the Lions? Did the Lions draft him? Eric Ebron?
So.
Yeah, Eric Ebron. Winslow, damn, Vernon Davis went 6th. Whew.
Yeah, Maryland, but remember Vernon Davis
man,
had that crazy
I ain't gonna lie,
though.
man. I ain't gonna get into like the off field with Kellen Winslow, but man, as on the field, man, I thought he was gonna be.
Yeah,
he was nice. He went to the Browns. I remember that team with the Browns was him, that wide receiver out of Michigan. Did he play for Michigan?
Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards.
Yeah, he played for Michigan.
Who else was on that team? It was a few other guys on that team, but
I can't remember.
But those are the guys that I remember off the top of my head but Kellen Winslow, man, I thought he was gonna have a way better career.
Yeah.
But hey, you never know. You never know, man. So hopefully Brock Bowers, he stays healthy. Spy takes Michigan man himself, so he would know more than most on the health of Will Johnson. Yeah, man, like just
not necessarily. All these guys they have some schools they're linked to. So I mean, like I said, like that don't mean like.
Look, obviously, like we would want to take a Will Johnson, but it's just, and the thing is too, I was especially when they because that. I think they were trying to get Higgins. They didn't even. They weren't even thinking about Will Johnson. They wanted the Higgins out of Ohio State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
So I think that was the guy that they really wanted, and then like Texans ended up drafting him. They traded down, and then at that time I was like, oh man, if they can get Will Johnson on the trade down, this might be worth the risk. But got picked like 2 spots ahead. So it is what it is. And then they traded down again, and I'm like, okay, oh boy, guard out of at Georgia. I'm
Tate Ratledge.
I was like,
that's another one. That's another one. I forgot about Tate, bro. That's another one.
I wanted to get Tate Ratledge, bro. I like that second trade down. I was like, oh please, just take Tate Ratledge. It'd be perfect value. I mean, we picked him like in the 3rd round, but like the way it was moving, it was like, hey, you know what? They might as well just take a flyer on him right now. And the Lions, I think they traded up right ahead of the Raiders. I think the Raiders were going to take him because they traded right ahead of them. Possibly, I'm just like it was just the timing of it was just perfect. They traded right ahead of them, and then they made that pick. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all just be clowning. Raiders haven't drafted a 1st-round middle linebacker since McClain. I don't want them to draft a 1st-round middle linebacker.
I don't either, man.
I don't want to see that either, bro. But this is a good draft though for linebackers though, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna draft a linebacker first, he can't just be like just up middle. He got to be like a super pass coverage guy. Like he got to do more stuff than just like Roquan, right? Like Roquan, hella pass coverage, good in the run. Like he's team leader, all that stuff. He got to be able to do all that stuff. Like Arvell Reese, that's a dude, man. Arvell, he a monster.
Hey, so basically, I'm kind of like buying. Shout out to my guy Marcus. He's the one been talking about it. And I was thinking about it too, looking at this draft. And I told you, like, bro, the Raiders are gonna fuck it up. They're not gonna get the number one. There's no way. Like, it just.
Number one. They're not getting number one.
But because Pete is trying to win. It's just a bad combination. Like he's not on the same page. I guess this would be it's a good segue. We'll just get into segue of you know what time it is, Severe, man. Yes, it's that time, bro. Yes, it is that time, man.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
It's flag on the play, and Severe, man. Let's just get into why this is a flag on the play, man. Let's just get into it, man. What we got this week?
So, 74-year-old coach Pete Carroll, he spoke to the media, and he was asked about the Raiders' activity at the trade deadline, and he gave quite possibly the most troubling answer you can hear.
Well, this was like his Monday presser. So his Monday. Yeah, it was his Monday presser, and Vinny was asking him about, like, you know, the upcoming trade deadline and just making moves. Are you thinking about the future and things like that? So that's where kind of that conversation started. But let me go ahead and play this clip, and you guys we're gonna get into possibly why this is an issue.
Talking about the trade deadline, that you guys are always competing and looking for ways to maybe help. Do you mean that just in terms of this year? Are you okay with maybe making a move that would maybe ding the present just a little bit in order to?
No, I'm not thinking that way. That doesn't. It never comes to my mind at all. We're trying to get better, ongoing right now, and see what we can get done.
All right, man. So. Do you want to take this one first? You just want to get into it and just why you feel like it's a problem?
Like,
go ahead.
Where are we going this year? Like, what? Like, bro, you're 2-6. Like, like, do you think you got the NFL right where you want them right now? Like, oh, now it's time to bust out my strategy. Like, nah, bro, we're not going anywhere this year. Smart people know when to cut your losses. That's what smart people understand. They understand there is a point in time. Now, look, I want to give him credit, and I'm going to be as gracious as possible. I'm going to say he is taking that stance so teams won't think the Raiders are in full fire sale mode and they don't think they can come in here and get clearance prices. I'm going to give him that grace. But even then, you say something like, look, when you're a 2-16, everything is on the table. Everything's on the table. You know, like, depending on the deal, depending on the situation, depending on the player, we put everything on the table. We evaluate every scenario, and we figure out what's the best way forward. And we take it from there. And that's what you do. You don't say, I'm not thinking about that's the stupidest thing you can say. Like, that's the dumbest thing you can say is like, I'm not thinking about the future. That's like, what? Like, so you're willing to sacrifice future success for success now on a team that's 2-6 and just lost to a team missing every single one of their best players? Like, what? Like, dog, like, make it make sense. Like, bro, like, I just don't get it, bro. I don't know. But first of all, somebody needs to stop letting this dude talk. Every time he talk, he say something stupid. Like, bro, at some point, you I keep waiting for one of his grandkids to come on stage. Like, okay, Papa, like, let's come over here now. You talked enough for today. Like, dog. Every time he gets up there, he either says something that's a clear lie, or he says some of the dumbest stuff you've ever heard in your life. So just stop letting this dude talk, or just give him a script. Do him like Indiana does Mendoza, and just put the questions in ChatGPT and let AI answer. And just do it like that, because he's incriminating himself. He's looking like Force 38 right now.
Hey, man. Hey, look. You gave him benefit of doubt because obviously the trade deadline, this presser was right before the trade deadline, so maybe he didn't want to show their hand. But the problem is, like, all right, I'll give him benefit of doubt of this. Coaches, their focus is to win now. Because their job is on the line. They're thinking about their job security because they have to win. All coaches are gonna focus on the season at hand. So that's where I'm gonna give a guy like Pete Carroll like the benefit of doubt. It's because coaches are gonna focus on the season. The GM's job is to focus on the season, but also an eye towards the future. They're gonna be looking at, like, all right, who's playing? Who are the young guys that I drafted? Who are they playing? Who? What position do I need to upgrade? What are the moves I got to make in the offseason? Like, he's going to be looking at the 3 to 5 year plan. So, like, that's why a GM, and the problem that the Raiders have had for years, is they haven't had a long-term stability, because a GM needs 5 years. He needs 5 years. A coach, I'll say 3 years.
Yeah.
1 year, if it's 1 year, that means something controversial, something crazy happens. Yeah. 2 years, if, like, bro, it's just not working out. Like it's terrible. Like it's just so bad. He lost the locker room. It's 2 years. But in reality, you need to give that coach 3. You need to give a coach 3 years.
Yeah.
Coach 5 years.
I thought you were going somewhere else with it. I thought you were going to go with we've had head coaches operating as both head coaches and de facto GM. That's where I thought you were going with it.
No. I was gonna go there, but lost my train of thought. But no, that's a good point too, as well. Is like the fact that we've had that's a whole different conversation. As far as like coaches, that the power dynamic between coach and GM, like that. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of coaches like coming in here and having too much power and having too much say when it comes to roster. And it seems like Pete Carroll, he negotiated himself into a nice little situation with the Raiders. Even at age 75, he came in there with demand. He's getting paid $15 million a year. He's getting paid as much as some of the top coaches in the NFL. Like I think he's top 5 in yearly salary. You know what I mean? If I can go and look at the top 10 coaches that are getting paid this season, and I'm gonna ask you: is Pete Carroll at this point of his career, is he up there with these guys? Man, Ben Johnson, the number 1 guy that the Raiders wanted to get, he's getting paid $13 million a year, and Pete Carroll's getting paid $15.
Bro,
it's terrible. But look, so I'll give Pete Carroll the fact that, at the end of the day, coaches are going to focus on the season. The problem is, like you pointed out, the Raiders are 2-6. The Raiders have been showing signs that they are not ready to win now. We knew it before the season that they didn't have the talent. We knew it. We could look at it on paper like, man, it's just something. It's just not there. You know what I mean? Like, the quarterback is kind of like, he's in the middle of the pack. He did some good things with Seattle, but he's playing his worst ball. You look at the defense. We talk about the talent there. It's not there. There's a lot of inexperience at wide receiver. There's a lot of moving parts. And then you go into the season, they're not playing well, but he's still focused on trying to win now. At one point, are you going to be on the same page with Spytek and letting these young guys play? That's been the main conversation that's been going on with Pete, and we've been criticizing him, is the fact that he's not letting some of these young guys get on the field when the guys in front are clearly struggling, or it doesn't even make sense to even have them start. Now, we thought that was going to be with Forsythe, but he's actually not been as bad as we thought he was going to be. We thought it was going to be like, doomsday over there. Like it was going to be the end of the world. Not say that he's been lights out. Yeah. So, and I guess that's probably going to be a better situation for Charles Grant, who needs some time to, develop. He's a project over there. But like a guy like Darian Porter, it took him after the bye week to realize, like, yeah, we should put him out there. You know what I mean? And then the Hemingways and the JJ Pegues, they're still inactive. Like that's why it's kind of hard for me to, like, first of all, because people kind of they're criticizing, Spytek's draft and this and that. I'm like, but can they just play? Can we just let them play and just get some experience, let them develop? And to be honest with you, you really can't judge a draft until it's like, what, 3 years? After 3 years? 3 years. So if we look at 3 years before this year, we were looking at Trey Tucker is like, what the hell is Trey Tucker? He can get replaced, but he's having a good season. He's having a little breakout year for himself. He's playing. I'm still looking at him. I'm still looking at Trey Tucker. I know, but you that's because you want the typical, Not
even that, but I just don't think he's that good. I mean, I just think I just still don't think he's that good. But
he's playing better, man. He's better than I thought.
Better. He's playing better, but that's a relative term. Like better than you thought is like like first is a perfect example. Is like we just talked about with Stone Forsythe. Like he's playing. He's not as bad as I thought he would be. Like, yeah, but that's because we thought, like, we were thinking, like, DEFCON 5, alarm bells, like, this fool getting, like, getting turned around, the turnstile, getting embarrassed, that's what we were thinking.
All right, well, if we're going there, Tucker can be replaced, yes. He can be replaced.
Yeah.
He can replace. Then we can if you want to talk about who can be replaced, that's literally the majority of the roster.
Everybody on the team, damn near.
Other than like Max and Brock.
And Brock, yeah.
And I'll add Genty in there too, because I feel like Genty
he can be replaced. but
that's just a waste. That's a waste of time. Nah.
I'm not saying we should or we would.
He's a really good player. He's on a rookie contract. He's a young player.
Good player. Really good. He's a good player. Really good. He hasn't shown that yet. He's a good player. He hasn't shown really good yet. He hasn't shown great yet. He's shown good. But I'm not even saying I'm not even saying like should we or would we. I'm just saying I'm not saying should we or would we or should we. I'm just saying can he be replaced? Yes, there are a lot of better backs than him. I'm not saying we should or we would, but as of right now, on November 4th, if you're in the future like LS November 5th, yes, Genty can be replaced.
Yeah, but you're speaking from like who are the best running backs right now, and you're looking at like you're looking at like the Jonathan Taylors, you're looking at like some of the top backs, and you're like
I'm looking at Etienne. Like you wouldn't put it like he wasn't. God, Etienne is better than Genty. Genty is a slightly faster David Montgomery, and David Montgomery is a good NFL player. He's a good back. He could be a lead back for a lot of teams, but you don't draft him. I'm giving Genty time, bro. I don't like you're throwing the book on him like and saying like he's because for a minute I'm saying he's good. I'm saying he's good.
You're saying good, but then like it wasn't good for a sec. Before that, it wasn't good. Before it was like, nah, I don't think he's gonna be this. I don't think this and this, then a third with Genty.
I don't think he's shown. I've maintained the same thing. I've said the same thing the whole time. I don't think he's a bust. I don't think he's trash. He's not generational. He's not elite. He's not special. He's not worthy of a top 10 pick. I think he's a good player. I think he can be a productive NFL back. I don't draft productive NFL backs at 6. Like you don't do that, right? Like no smart organization just drafts just a guy. I think he's a good player. And the fact, how I know he's just a good player because we point to everything around him as to why he's not being the best he can be. If you're a special talent, you overcome those circumstances. We were talking about Brock, perfect example. The special talent, you overcome your circumstances. You create your own opportunities. Genty doesn't have the ability to do that. And that's why I think he's a good player. I think he needs good play calls. He needs better than average blocking. He needs all of that stuff to be successful.
No, he needs average blocking. He needs average blocking. Let's be real.
He's had average blocking on several times, and he didn't take advantage of it.
No, come on, bro. You can't say he hasn't had consistent average blocking.
But he's not consistent. But when he has average blocking, he's not consistently taking advantage of it. When he has average blocking, he's not consistently taking advantage of it. So don't say if he has average blocking, he's going to do something special, because when he's had it, he doesn't consistently use it. So like that's how it goes.
Nah, bro. That's now it's subjective, because now you gotta
It's not subjective.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
It's
Because
watching what I see on film.
Well, okay, but what games were average blocking? Tell me the games that was average blocking.
I'm not talking about the entire game. I'm talking about on several drives. He's had average blocking. There are times in the Commanders game. There was times this last game. There was times in the Tennessee game. Like, there's been several games where he's had opportunities.
What's average blocking to you then? What's average blocking to you?
Average blocking is a hole, a lane that's open for him to take.
Oh my God! So you're saying that he's not taking advantage of the.
Yes, bro. I've been saying this. This is not new.
Bro,
this is not new,
man.
I can send you the plays, bro. I can send you the plays. If you want this, I can send you the still shots. I can send you the shorts. I can send you the plays. Bro, watch our Wednesday show.
Bro, come on, man.
Watch my Wednesday show.
I don't
watch my
agree.
Wednesday show.
I don't agree that Genty should be replaced. I don't think it doesn't make any sense.
I didn't say should. I didn't say should.
No. Some of the guys that I'm saying, some of the guys that we say that should be replaced, the Raiders can actually go ahead and do that because.
But that wasn't the premise. That's what your premise wasn't.
But come on now, we're moving the goalposts now.
No, we're not moving this is going with your premise was they could be replaced. It wasn't should be. Should be is different. You said could be. So if you want to say should be, I said I don't think the Raiders would or should, but he could be. That was my premise the entire time. That was the premise of the question. Was could he be? And yes, he could be. Should he be or would he be? Not happening. It's not happening clearly, but he could be.
Bro, like, okay, so you're gonna go out and replace Genty. So if there's okay, let me ask you. I'm gonna rephrase it because that doesn't make any sense. What if there is upcoming draft comes along, right? Upcoming draft comes out, and there's a great talent at running back in the second round. Are the Raiders drafting him?
I wouldn't. I'm not wasting another high pick. I'd draft the guy in the third. I'm not drafting. I didn't want Genty in the first. I'm not about to draft Genty in the first and then come back the next year and draft the guy in the second. Like that's like I don't believe in spending valuable resources on running backs. That's the whole issue. So if there's a guy in the third, I'm taking him. But I already said, bro. People say the player. I said everybody on this team I would trade for. I would trade except Brock. If I can get a first round pick for Genty, I'm trading him, bro. You got it here. And it's not to say he's not a good player. But it's to say that I think I can get a guy of Genty's caliber in the second or third. So if I can get a whole round more value, I'm taking it. That's just me.
Yeah, but it's hard to say because it's like it's early in his career. Obviously, the season hasn't gone the way it's supposed to. The offense hasn't been where it's supposed to. It's been a lot of moving parts, but we'll see. We'll see because if Genty starts balling out. I don't think everybody's gonna have that same tune. I don't think you're probably not gonna have that same tune because you're gonna be like, man, he's doing all this. Like, why would we want to get rid of this type of production? It just hasn't happened yet, so I can't really say like, oh man, like, you're 100% wrong right now because obviously he hasn't like consistently put everything together. He's actually being a rookie. He's shown flashes. That's what rookies do. Rookies just show flashes. And then by the second year, they start putting a little bit together. And then that third year, then you'll see them. They should put all it. Usually that third year is that breakout year.
That's not running back. That's not running backs, bro. That's not running backs. That's not running backs, bro. That's running backs are not supposed to be, oh, he's okay this now and then. That's generally not running backs. Usually, generally running backs come on the scene and they flash pretty quickly. Especially guys that are drafted high in the draft. It usually doesn't take those guys, oh, we have to get this guy up to speed. And no, you draft those guys to make immediate impacts. And that's what everybody was told Genty was. And now that he's not, now it's, oh, well, it's obviously everything. Like, it's everything around him.
Measy says Judkins is better than Genty, and he was a second-round pick.
Catabu's been better than Genty, low-key. In his limited opportunities.
Come on, bro. Like I don't think Scatabo is better. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't think.
I think Genty's more talented.
I thought Scatabo was gonna be better than what I like, but he doesn't look. I mean, he doesn't. Scatabo to me, he doesn't look that special. He doesn't look that special in the NFL.
I don't think he looks special. I think he's been productive. So hold on.
But he's not better. He's not better than Genty. He's not better than Genty. He's not better than Genty.
He's been more productive than Genty.
He's not better than Genty though.
I didn't say that. He's been more productive.
Okay, then what we doing? What we doing? So let's not waste that time.
I don't care. Good is a relative term, bro. Are you producing or not?
But who's better? Who's better, Genty or Scatabo?
Genty. Who's been more productive? I don't care about and his opportunities.
So what are we talking about? We're having a wait. This is going to be a waste of conversation. If Genty's better than Scatabo, then that's what it is. But Judkins, I'm not gonna lie, like he's looked nice with the Browns. But
okay, you said that you thought Scatabo was gonna be better, but you think Genty is doing well.
I didn't say Genty's doing well, but I feel like Genty, from what I've seen, I feel like there's something there with Genty. You're saying there's nothing there. You're saying that he's a good player, but it's hard for you to even say that. And I've talked to you before about Genty.
I've been saying he's good. I said he's been saying he's good the whole time.
But I've talked to you before about Genty, and you've obviously been low on Genty since the Raiders drafted him. You didn't want to draft a running back.
I
didn't want to draft a running back.
Yes.
I even said that. I didn't want to draft a running back. But I didn't think Genty was a bad player. I never said Genty was a bad player. I felt like we still got a talented player. Now, how talented and all that type of stuff, I think time will tell. But I don't know, man. Like I don't feel like early on in the season, I felt like the usage wasn't there. I felt like they didn't give him like.
Don't give me this. Carries, bro. He's leading all rookies in carries, bro.
But what makes Genty special? What makes him special? What makes him special is when he's in space, right? When he's in space and he has that ability to break tackles, you can see his ability to have his contact balance. But we haven't seen that, right? Because I feel like Chip Kelly, I feel like Chip Kelly hasn't done a good job of putting Genty in situations where he could be successful.
Yeah, we're gonna agree to disagree on that one, bro. How long did it take? How long did it take for him to get involved in the pass game, bro? How long did it take for him to get involved in the pass game? Week 3?
Was it against the Bears?
Was it, or maybe week 4?
It was the Bears. It was the Bears because I think it was the Bears because that's when he had the touchdowns.
What game did he throw? Which game did he? No, he was involved in the passing game against the Chargers.
No, he was not, bro. No,
he got passes against the Chargers. I don't remember how many passes he got. He got like 3 or 4 passes against the Chargers.
Nah, man. Come on, bro. It was like, come on. No, it wasn't. Did he get a pass? Yes, he did. Did he get a pass? Did Geno hold the ball for the very last second? And he's like, I'm just gonna throw it to Genty, and while the defender's right there, and then hopefully Genty does something with it. Yeah, was there a play or two like that? Yeah, probably. But as far as like actually,
how many targets do you expect him to get?
If he, I mean, how many targets?
Come on, bro. How many targets do you expect the running back to get, bro? How many targets? Pat out a number. How many targets do you expect the running back to get?
All right. Well, touches, right? Touches on offense.
No. You said the passing game. How many targets do you expect him to get?
That's over.
He's leading running backs. He's leading all rookie running backs in touches. So we leaving touches alone. We leaving touches alone. How many targets do you expect him to get a game?
I'll give him like at least 5. Let's get 5. 5 is a nice number. 4 to 5. Some
of our receivers aren't getting 5 targets. Our receivers aren't getting those type of targets.
So
like you don't expect a running back to get all of those targets?
What are you
talking about? When our receivers aren't getting those targets?
A running back that got drafted number 6 overall? Yeah. Like if he's come on, bro. Why do you think that what I'm saying is crazy when you of all people have said like this is a guy that got drafted 6 overall? All I'm saying is if you draft a running back this high, then like take advantage of that investment. Try to make that investment work. Like why are we not using Genty to the fullest extent? Like that's just what I'm saying. And sometimes, like you said, sometimes it that can look like carries. Sometimes that can look like, getting involved in the pass game. And I felt like last game, which I said earlier in the show, I said, I felt like Chip Kelly did a pretty good job of getting him involved in the pass game as well as running the football. And I feel like I think that's probably going to be his game in the NFL. For him to be.
How many targets did he get last game?
He had 5 catches. Targets, I'm not 100% sure. I got to look back at it. But he had 5 catches for like 40-some yards.
So he had 4 targets and 3 receptions against the Chargers. So it's 4 targets right there. So he had 5, probably had 5 targets this last game. I don't think I saw him with an incompletion or a drop.
Come on, bro. Like, nah, it was come on. All right, bro. I you know what? I'm not gonna go back and forth because it's
not going back and forth, bro. Because you could die on this hill. I'm fine with it. I'm gonna let you.
It's because it's context. It's context to everything. Because
bro, I've watched every single game in complete context. I'm the one guy doing it. I'm watching every single game.
I'm watching the game too.
And all 22 and breaking it down every week.
I'm watching the game too. I'm watching the game too.
So I see every play. I'm watching the game 2 or 3 times and half speed.
I'm watching the game too though. I'm watching the game too.
But
So if I'm watching the game and I'm telling you that there's context when it comes to the catches, I'm telling you that like they're not really getting him involved in the pass game and they're just dumping it off Geno's dumping off in the very last second. When was the first design play to get Genty the ball? I think a lot of those targets that you're talking about were just Geno just like, oh, I'm gonna hold the ball to the last second and just throw it to Genty behind the line of scrimmage when the defender's right there.
So now it's not 5 targets. It's not 5 targets anymore. It's 5 design plays.
Oh man! All right. Well, look.
No. These are your standards, bro. You put this out there. Don't get mad. Oh, what are you doing? I'm taking your words. This is what you said. This is what you said. So now it's not 5 targets,
man. Hey, man, it's cool. You're not a Genty guy, bro. You don't like Genty.
It's not even not being a Genty guy. See, like I can be honest about something, and take everything in total context. And I ask you a specific question, and you get mad about this is the premise you put out.
I'm not getting mad about anything. I could be honest about certain things. I'm not getting mad about anything. You're telling me that I'm getting mad, but I'm not getting mad about anything.
I mean, obviously, bro. He's like, oh, come on now. You hate Genty, and you come on, bro. Come on, do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that, bro.
Like, because I've heard you talk about. I'm like, bro, come on, like, it's every time. Like, for example, he scored that touchdown. Like, I don't know, man. It's
okay. He scored the touchdown. He made a nice play. I think,
but you kind of took away the fact that he had that nice play, and you were like, oh, but no one was there, and I was like,
no,
he made a guy miss. He made a guy miss.
That was a poor tackling effort, but he made a guy miss. That was a poor tackling effort, but he made a guy miss. But my point to say nobody was there was saying that, hey, you know what? These dump offs have been available to him. We should take advantage of them because they're not really accounting for him in the passing game. So that's why I said nobody was there. But like I said, I don't even want to get into it. But you took it and twisted it into something else. When Genty made that nice 64-yard run against the Bears, what did I say? I said the reason that run was so good is because he actually broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage. When he does something, I give him credit. When he made that nice spin play in the Chargers game, when he had a pass out of space, I was like, damn, like I was at the game. I jumped out of my seat. It was like, dang, that's a hell of a play. Like when he does something, I give him credit. But there's not a lot to give him credit to because he's not doing a lot. He's been in space and hasn't made guys miss. He had that swing pass where the guy broke the tackle. He also had a play where he caught a swing pass out to the right earlier in the game where he didn't make anybody miss. And he ran right into a defender. So it's like we take one thing and be like, oh, this is a great play. But when he doesn't do something good, we just want to absolve it or blame it on somebody else and say, oh, because he's throwing behind. It's like, nah, bro.
ECG though. ECG. Not to cut you off, bro. My bad. Because he's saying Scatterbo has more touch. But who's been in a better offense and who's a better offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll or Chip Kelly? Who's been in a better situation quarterback-wise? Come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be honest here, bro. Like, come on, man. Like
I said, bro. It's everybody but Genty. Like I said, bro. It's everybody but Genty.
All right, man.
There you go.
All right, man.
Everybody but Genty. And nothing is Genty's fault. So when Genty does something good, I'm just gonna give everybody else the credit then. If that's the case, like, because he's not the driving force behind anything. If it's never his fault when it doesn't go well, then how can it be all on him when it goes well? Like, you can't have it both ways.
Cam, 101 carries, 410 yards, 5 touchdowns, 124 carries, 484 yards, 3 touchdowns. Look, man. Hey, look. If you've been watching the Raiders offensively this year, I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong, and like Genty's a part of that. But just for accountability purposes, but. If we're being honest, like a lot of that has been on Geno. A lot of that to me has been on Chip too as well. Trying to like do we have an identity on offense? No. A lot of that too. Brock Bowers has been hurt. The best offensive weapon that we had. Like It is what it is. Like, these are facts. Like, you can't change this. These affect outcomes. These affect the situation too. And you can make that argument for Chip. You can make that argument for Geno as well with Brock being out. But we gotta say it though. We can't say that, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, we can't just say disregard it and be like, oh yeah, that doesn't matter. That doesn't, like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Y'all tripping. I guess so.
I said, but when I see Genty missing holes on film, when I see him missing cutback lanes, when I see runs where he can bounce offside and he doesn't, is that Chip Kelly's fault too? That's my point, bro. Like, people don't want to. I can blame Chip Kelly. I think Chip Kelly. I think some of his play. I've already said in the past. I think some of his play calling has been predictable and monotonous. I think some of his play designs have been flawed. I've been said that on numerous occasions. I can't get anybody to say, man, Genty really ain't been what we thought it would be, or Genty's been pretty good. Genty has left several yards on the field. Like, you can't say that because he's a rookie. It's never his fault. It's all to the line. It's everybody else around him. But when he makes a play, it's, oh man, you see what Genty did? You saw it? It's like come on, you can't have, like you said, you can't have it both ways, man. But that's what people want to do. They want to have it both ways.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. Meezy says the Genty comparisons to Barry Sanders, Saquon Barkley, Marshall Faulk. I never said that though. I never compared him to Barry Sanders, Saquon. I did hear Marcus Allen compare him to Barry Sanders, but it had nothing to do with, like, when you hear the full context of what he was saying, it had nothing to do with like his play style and the way he plays. Like, oh yeah, I think it was just his contact balance. You know what I mean? Like, and that's basically, I guess, probably the only thing you can compare.
That's the only. I think he's more Emmett than like I said from the beginning. I think he's more Emmett. Like I said, I think he's a good player. Like, people like, and that's what the context will be. Well, Severe thinks Genty is trash. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a good player, but I don't draft.
You don't think he's trash? It's like,
I think he's a good flawed player, just like most players in the league. He's good, but he's flawed.
But I think with you. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, it takes you time for you to be bought in on a player, especially if you had doubts on him to begin with.
It's not even about that. It's that Genty is not as advertised. And I was telling people for the longest time, he's not as advertised. And now that he's not as advertised, and people said, oh, he's going to be exactly what we're saying he's going to be. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to be offensive rookie of the year. He's going to be one of the top and top 5 in rushing. He's going to be better than Josh Jacobs. He's going to do all these things. And now that he's not doing it, it's, oh man, come on, right? You can't have these expectations on. Like, people went bananas when I said, oh, I expect 1,600 all-purpose yards from Genty. In a 17-game season, I expect less than 100 yards a game from my top 10 overall pick at running back. Like, that was crazy expectations from people. But now that he's not being what people said he was going to be, it's everybody else's fault. It is other people's fault too. It's not all Genty. It's Chip Kelly. It's the offensive line. But Genty plays a part in it. But just people.
Welcome to the 50-50 show.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
But people want to absolve him from any blame at all. All I'm saying is, Genty has played his part, and when he's had opportunities, he's not always taking advantage of those opportunities. And people are like, oh, no, that's you're wrong, Severe. Like, bro, I'm watching it. I'm literally watching the film. I'm literally watching him run into the back of an offensive guard when there's a lane right there. I'm literally watching him miss the cutback lane. I'm literally seeing the opportunity for him to bounce around outside, and he doesn't do it. So, like,
and I'm not saying that he's not making any mistakes though. I'm not saying that he's not making any mistakes, but I feel like he's flashed enough to show, like, for example, he's flashed enough for you to be like, oh, he's a good running back. He's flashed enough for you to make to say that. So that's, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're how you view Genty going into it. You weren't high on him to begin with. You weren't high on him. Like, I mean, you did think he was the best running back in the draft, but you obviously I think you had him number 1, and then. But you didn't believe that he should be taking number 6. I think that's like your biggest thing. And the fact that is like when you take a running back high, you want him to be at least like you want him to check a few boxes. Yeah. And obviously Genty didn't check those boxes.
Like my favorite running back in the class has been Trey. And not only has Trey not really been productive in the run game and missed some holes, he's had some penalties. He hasn't even really been good. So, newsflash, red alert, Genty has been better in the NFL in pass pro than Travion. He's been better. From what I've seen, Travion, he's missed, he's whiffed. He's had some penalties in pass pro. I think he had a fumble. I've been critical of Travion too, to people who I talk to about this stuff, offline. So I'm not opposed to criticizing any player. I'll call it like I see it. It's just that people, they want to play favorites, bro. I don't do that. I'm going to criticize you whether I like you or not.
And I'm with you, bro. Like I'm with you when it comes to that. Like I obviously criticize, and it's funny because I was gonna get into some of the guys that I feel like haven't been who I think they should be, especially now that they've been in the league for a while. Now it was like guys like Michael Mayer has been 3 years in the league, and the other day I called him an average football player based off what he's done so far in his NFL career. He hasn't really shown too much of that. And I was going to get into that, and I was getting flack for that just because, people kind of put Michael Mayer in a pedestal a little bit, and they're like, oh, man, like, kind of like, because he's a fan favorite. A lot of people like him. They feel like, he hasn't been in a perfect situation, this, that, and the third. But the Genty situation, I feel like, we'll see. We'll see the rest of the season and how it plays out. But because at the end of the day, we talked about Brock earlier from day one. Like it wasn't even a question. But then there was a Darren McFadden, and I'm not comparing him to Darren McFadden, but there was a Darren McFadden in that Darren McFadden, he flashed, but he also didn't. There was moments where he disappeared or he didn't have the greatest game, or he made mistakes, and until he got with Hugh Jackson, and then the rest is history. Boom. We kind of seen his potential where he was able to put a couple of productive years in his rare career. But I don't know. It's kind of ugly that we're having this conversation because it's damn, why did we even take a running back if we're not even able to maximize their talent? That's kind of where I'm at. It's bro, that's why I've been criticizing Chip Kelly a little bit, but then it's
deservedly so.
But then I criticize Chip Kelly, but then where does Pete Carroll come in this? Where does he? Isn't he the head coach? And I'm sure they had their conversation over the bye week and this and a third, but
Look. I mean,
it's just a weird situation. It's just a weird situation. You draft a running back that high, you don't even, and he has his stats ready too. He has his stats ready, and I think we have a notable quotable, so we'll get into that.
Yeah.
In a little bit. I guess we could get into it right now. That's actually a good segue. We'll just get into the notable quotables. If you want to give the intro to that.
Yeah. So obviously the coordinators they have their weekly presser. And Chip Kelly was asked about, Genty's usage has kind of been, it's almost a weekly theme at this point, but he's asked about Genty's usage, and, he was able to respond with numbers, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
All right. And this is from earlier, right?
Yes.
All right.
Should be
I think he leads the league in rookie rushing, doesn't he? In carry. So I think everything we do game plan wise is about winning that game. So it's not about how many touches. Maybe some fantasy people are a little disturbed, but we're not coaching for fantasy people, so we're just trying to win games. So I don't, that's not. I mean, he's our number one back, and when we're running the ball, he's running the football. So, and I think you saw him a little bit in the past game the other day, and he's starting to evolve in that, and trying to get him more involved in that way. So, he's continuing to grow. He's doing a heck of a job.
Oh man, I like it's so funny that he comes to these pressures with these stats ready. Like he remembers these stats. He makes sure he looks them up and he's ready because he knows that they're gonna ask him about Genty. Because I remember there was a presser. Was it this around the time where the offensive line was probably playing pretty bad and I think Genty's been a popular question for him all season, and I think he was like, oh well, Genty, he's top 10 in this, and he was top 5 in this, and this, and I'm like damn, you got all these numbers. But look, I thought he did a solid job the last game though, as far as like how the offense looked and how he was able to get like one-on-one opportunities for like Brock Bowers, and he got everybody involved. I mean, we seen Trey Tucker, we seen Brock, we seen a little bit of former Raider, Jakobi Meyers. You probably can, if you want to nitpick, he kind of got away from Genty, but then he did get him involved in the pass game, which is what I was asking for, and I liked what he did. That's cool. Like we could keep that consistent, get the ball in his hands, like him and Brock, bro. Like you get the ball in his hands, like let's see what they can do. Yeah. That's kind of been my thing, and I thought he did a pretty solid job. But what was your take on what Chip Kelly was saying?
I mean, Genty's on pace for like 270 carries or something like that. I forgot what I stated last time. Like that, like that's like when people said Cadillac was ran into the ground, he had 290 carries. So like this is about where you want Genty at over a 17-game span. If anything, we haven't done enough to have complementary backs to Genty, because even though Genty is probably top 10 in carries, as a team, we're probably toward the bottom of the league, if not at the bottom. So I think we probably need to do more getting other guys carries and to get to spell Genty and maybe give defenses a little bit of change of pace. So when Genty comes in, it looks a little differently. Maybe we need to do that, because we're feeding Genty the rock. He's far and away, get like leading rookies in carries and touches as well. So it's like you can only give a guy so much before it gets before you have diminishing returns, and before you at this point you're just putting a whole bunch of tackles on a body that just went last year with an exorbitant amount of carries, taking an exorbitant amount of punishment because he's a guy that he doesn't avoid contact. He damn near 6 contact on every run. So like those hits add up, and now it's hits at the NFL level. So we had the big hit in the preseason. He goes to the blue 10. He had the big hit where Geno hung him out to dry on his swing pass. I think that was Tennessee. And I think he had to go to the blue 10 after that one, had to leave the game. So it's like you don't want this is a valuable asset to you. Apparently you drafted him at 6. The Raiders hold him a high regard. You don't want this dude getting beat up and broken down in year 1. He's right in that sweet spot. You want him somewhere between like 250 and 270 in carries. Like anything lower, you're not using them enough. Anything higher, and you're getting them beat up.
My guy, man, the chat is going crazy right now. I'm trying to catch up here. LS says Genty has 25 targets, 20 receptions on the year for 133 yards and 3 touchdowns. I like that he got 3 touchdowns in receiving and in rushing. Like that's pretty interesting. Like that's something that they can build upon. Like, hey, look, that just tells you you got to give this guy an opportunity to use his skill set. And I think, sometimes and look, just to play the devil's advocate too, it's like, all right, you know what? Or just look at the other side to it, is that like Chip Kelly's trying to figure out Genty too, like what he's good at, what he's not good at. Like there's a little bit of that too. And I think coming out the bye, I felt like for them to get him involved in the pass game and also rush the football, I feel like that's a nice little. I think that's going to be his game in the NFL, because I know him coming out. We talked about his size, like he's not that big, and this, that, and the third. What we talked about, what makes him special, like he's good in space. All off season, we talked about like, man, how the Raiders are finding ways to they're going to use him in the pass game. We didn't really see that. And we've seen that in the past too, like with Jacobs too. Like Jacobs, we heard about that Jacobs. They didn't utilize him, and like we've seen where there'll be a lot of offseason hype, and then they won't follow through on what was shown in these camps and all that stuff, right? And mind you, I think Jacobs is up there right now as one of the top receiving backs in the NFL. I think his numbers. I think he's like up there as far as yards, maybe. Which I think is kind of funny because it's like, oh man, that's crazy how like,
yeah,
we
that
never
was
seen
Gruden,
that.
though. That was Gruden, and Gruden's not, and we know Gruden is not a guy that's adverse to throwing a running back. So like,
he's not,
because Charlie Garner,
which is weird. Which is weird
Exactly.
that he never really got Jacobs going in the pass game. But and then the crazy thing is Gruden, like if you play offense, you in Gruden's offense, you gonna get numbers. You're gonna get paid in Gruden's offense. So that was kind of strange that they weren't able to get. But it is what it is. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. Damn, everybody's talking about the Genty. So we came to the conclusion that Chip Kelly.
I guess, man. Yeah. I guess what they feel, man.
We'll see, bro. Cause look, last game it wasn't too bad. And look, if the rest of the season is cool, then the scapegoat might be Patrick Graham, or it might be, or Pete might just retire and then they're just gonna get rid of.
All I know is that Chip Kelly was OC at Oregon, great run game. He was head coach at Oregon, great run game. He was head coach of the Eagles, great run game. Head coach of UCLA. Great run game. He was offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Great run game. He gets to the Raiders. All of a sudden, all people talked about was how creative, how much of a mad scientist he was in the run game. Now, all of a sudden, it's Chip Kelly can't scheme up the run game. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's nuts. But
hey,
real
quick, let me just respond to this. Meezy, how do you know what his skill set is? How do you know what his skill set is? I mean, I think his junior year in college, I think he had like over 500 yards receiving. He had over 500 yards receiving. I know he had a crazy record-breaking, senior year, right? We all know he was rushing the football, but doesn't mean that he doesn't have the skill set of receiving the ball. From what we've seen, he got something there. Like I don't know. From what I've seen him, like, and they've ran wheel routes up the sideline. They obviously he's made plays, scored touchdowns, receiving football. So there's something there. So you can't say they shouldn't use him like Alvin Kamara. Actually, that's been a comparison that early on. That was like one of the comparisons. Like, hey, he kind of like his smoothness kind of reminds you a little bit of Alvin, like where he doesn't look like he's running that fast, but like his contact balance.
I think it was a contact balance.
Right.
And like having good feet.
Yeah. Look, I'm just like, let's take advantage of an Ashton Genty in space. How can you do that? Getting involved in the pass game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I guess I sound crazy, bro. That sound crazy to you? In my opinion, yeah. What were you about to say?
No. I was just saying, I think like people point to the second year of Boise. From what I remember, from when I was just watching, a lot of the passing stats were like manufactured, basically runs, like manufactured, like pop passes, stuff like that, where it's like, okay, I get the ball, I pop it up to Genty, or a Genty, it's like a Genty circles in front of the quarterback and he pops it to him. Genty run. So a lot of it was that, but he did catch some passes too. So like I said, like that, you can recount and look at that. But the fact that he did play slot receiver in high school at some point lets you know that, okay, there's some ability there. Does that ability necessarily translate to the NFL? You don't know, because Josh Jacobs played quarterback in high school. So it's like, so did Jakobi Meyers. So it's like, okay, just because you did something at the high school level doesn't necessarily mean you will be able to do it at the NFL level, but at least like there's a foundation there for you to build upon. Yeah,
and he's flashed. He's part of what he's flashed this season is his ability to catch the ball at the backfield, like and score touchdowns. We just talked about he has 3 receiving touchdowns, 3 rushing. So it's like the Raiders should find a way to get him the ball. And guess what? Right off the bye week, what do? It's not by accident that he's getting the ball a little bit earlier. Like he's getting a check down earlier. And I know there was a stat there that said like that, you know, Geno's ADOT was like 4.9 or whatever. Part of that was just like kind of throwing it to Genty and relying on the guys to get yak yards. Yeah. And, you know, it was working for Genty. It was working for Brock.
Yeah. I mean, but that's been available the entire time. Like it's always been available for now Geno is taking it. It's been there. He was hesitant to take it because he was trying to force the ball downfield. Obviously, Brock is a different story because, you know, like you don't need a high average depth of target. You just need to get Brock running in one direction and get him the ball in stride. And then he's going to do the rest for you. So like that, like it's a different story there. But the stuff is Genty, it's been there. He's been underneath and available a lot. It's just Geno hasn't taken it. And now we're starting to take it.
Yeah, that's enough. See, that's the context too. So it's kind of like a weird season. Like there's a lot of different scenarios that I can see. I can see Pete Carroll obviously coming back and coaching another year and replacing Chip Kelly, but I can also see Chip Kelly coming back because you can make an argument like Geno's been terrible. He's been so bad. Like it doesn't matter like what you call if Geno's gonna not throw it to the open guy or get a turnover. Like you just said right now, like you said, it's been there, and Geno's just not taking advantage of that. And obviously, coming out the bye week, there probably was an emphasis on probably before the bye week.
Yeah,
because even before there was like they kind of like. You could tell there was a difference. I think probably after
the 3, probably right before Tennessee. I would say probably right before Tennessee.
Yeah, right before this Tennessee, because that Tennessee game you could tell like he wasn't really throwing the ball down the field like that. He was kind of like dinking and dunking, and they were trying to slow it down. But because that's how bad Geno's been playing. Let's see. See, it's hella funny that like me talking about Genty is like confusing. It's like learning. Look, I wanted to draft offensive lineman. That's who I want to draft. You go back, you can go back, and I do these shows live. They're all recorded. I wanted to get an offensive lineman just because I felt like that's what we needed. That would have helped this team a lot more than taking a running back at number 6. Me personally. But I'm just saying that I don't think Genty's a bad player. I think he's good, and I think there's some potential for him to even be better than good. But we'll see. I can't say it until like it happens. So it is what it is.
Potential is there, but I don't think you're wrong for saying there's potential for him to be better than good. Like I said, I say he's a good player. That's what he is right now. Right now. That's fair. Will he ever be better than that? That remains to be seen. There's a potential to be there. I mean, like it's potential to be there, but like I said, I gotta see.
But if you said if you could go back knowing what you know now, would you take Genty? Nah, I'd take Membu. Membu look good with the Jets. I'm like, shit. We do that probably fortify the offensive line, and then
we play Membu. Like he be in a competition with Glazers. We do some stupid stuff like that. Like Membu, him and Glazers are battling it out. I don't know if like we do some nonsense. Like we didn't have to touch the offensive line from last year. What we had down the stretch last year was solid and the foundation to possibly build upon. And if you want to upgrade and get Parham out of there and slide Glaze inside and have Membu. Like obviously I wasn't big on Membu, but I prefer if we're going to go with a guy. I prefer Josh Simmons. I prefer Calvin Banks. And obviously Josh Simmons, that would have gone disastrously.
The only thing about Kevin Banks, he's a left tackle.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
But so is Joe Alt though. So I mean, like, so is Penei Sewell.
So you're saying that they can make that switch even in the meantime?
I say if you do it early enough, and if the guy has to be talented enough. Everybody can't do it. But if you evaluate him and you think he has the talent to do it, then I think guys can do it. Like Donald Penn talked about it before, where he was able to do it. Like at first it messed him up, but because some of that is muscle memory. But I think if a guy is talented enough, has good enough feet, good enough hands, I think he can do it. So that's who I wanted. But obviously Mimbu has been a beast. I was just kind of wary of him just because he kind of, I don't want to say popped up out of nowhere, but he wasn't like top 10 pick radar. He was like, okay, Mimbu late first. And then after the combine, it's, oh my God, we got to take Mimbu in the top 10. I was like, okay, that worries me. But, it is what it is. I don't think we should have made any changes to the offensive line. Apparently, the offensive line coach is a Pete Carroll guy, obviously. I sense the offensive line coach is a Pete Carroll guy too. So, we can kind of guess who has a heavy voice in that offensive line room.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of moving parts, man. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting the rest of the season too. Like if they start playing better offensively with Brock, with Brock back, and does that mean that they win maybe a couple more? Like I'm telling you, bro, like that chip. Look, now that they got Brock back. And the way you hear Pete Carroll talk about like trying to win, and I'm only focused on winning right now, and that's I'm focused on it right now. Bro, they're gonna try to win some games, and I think that's gonna push the team a little bit outside of that top 5. I'm hoping at least stay in the top 10 because we need it. We need a top 10 talent. We need it. Raiders need a top 10 talent. There's no question about it. Do we have another notable quotable?
Yeah, we got Howie Roseman.
All right, here we go, man. And so what's the intro for Howie Roseman?
So Howie Roseman just talking about some of his thought processes around acquiring players. They asked about his aggression, and he had some interesting answers. He had some. I think he talked about some surprising targets as well.
Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett, who you were reportedly interested in trading for each of those guys. Michael Parsons, of course, before the season began.
Are you trying to get me fined by speaking of players on other teams? Is that your goal here, Jimmy? Well, I can see that being your goal.
The players aside, it does seem like you were willing to, make a big swing and trade multiple future first-round picks. Whether it's for those players or anyone else. What makes you comfortable, trading away those kinds of draft assets?
I feel like when there's opportunities to be aggressive for the right players, we're not going to sit on our hands. I don't think that you have great success without taking great risks at times. They got to make sense in terms of the risks that you're taking. And so, we can't be afraid to fail. I think for a lot of times, for you to get to the top, that you got to be willing to take chances that, may look controversial at times. And so if there was an opportunity to do that, that we thought gave us also an opportunity to be the last team standing, put confetti on our head, we're going to go aggressive in that direction. I feel like that's the right way to operate our team. And that doesn't come without mistakes. I understand that. But, I won't live with regret. I won't live with regret in the way that we operate around here. And so if we feel passionate about something, if we think the value's right, we're not going to.
Look, man, I'm hoping Spike got an ounce of what Howie Roseman got in Philadelphia, man. Because he has he has the smart combination of being aggressive. Like, exactly. It's not like stupid aggression. It's like smart. Like, look, they're obviously in a Super Bowl window, and they're making trades. They're not afraid to make moves and make their team better, even when you can argue they're probably the most talented roster in the NFL. I know this season's kind of been like a weird season for them a little bit, how it started, but you can't count them out. But you can argue the team like the Colts, they overpay for Sauce Gardner and trading 2 first-round picks for him. But, stuff like that. Let's talk about that real quick. I know this is hella off topic, but would you have made that trade? Would you want, like, if you're a team like the Colts, who obviously they feel like they're in a Super Bowl window, they're playing really well, they're trying to go after it, and they're basically saying we have a 2-year window because they traded away their 2 first-round picks, next 2 first-round picks. Would you have made that trade for Sauce Gardner? Because some people, like a lot of people are not big Sauce Gardner fans, man. People kind of like, I've seen people saying like, oh man, he's not that good. Like they overpaid for him. And
people, they look at, he's not getting a lot of interceptions. I think he has like 3 interceptions, 3 career interceptions, something like that. So like they look at that and they're like, oh, he's not good. But that's it's facts. And I'm a Michael Mayer guy, and average is, he might not even.
Bro,
be.
I said that, and look.
But
I was getting like, man, like, oh, you're a hater. Like, what are you talking about? You're just saying that because he just dropped the ball and this, that, and the third. And this is because I said it around the game. Anytime I was like, hey, I just unpopular opinion. I was like, Michael Mayer is an average football player. And but yeah, anyways, go ahead.
But in terms of Sauce, you think about it like this. They need Sauce Gardner this year because they are playing very well right now, right? So obviously you pay a premium for getting the guy right now, so you already pay that premium for getting him early. For the rest of the year, they're only paying Sauce Gardner league minimum money. And I think he has like a contract like worth around $21-22 million a year for the next 2 years. So you get one of the league's best corners for minimum money the rest of this year, and then very good money the next 2 years, right? So that's already you get them for multiple years on a cost control contract. And going into this offseason, what's the biggest need for the Colts? A corner. So what would they probably have drafted in the first round? A corner. So that's already one first round pick just X'd out already, because you would have used one on the corner. And then you just paid that extra first round for having a guy that's still young, that's very productive, getting him in a year where you're winning and getting him on a cost control contract. Like, I think you got to make that move.
Oh man, that's crazy. I'm just reading the chat real quick, but now if you're looking at it from that perspective, like the Colts, obviously, like I said, they're trying to win now. So every move that they're trying to make, they want guys that are going to contribute to the team now. Even the draft picks, like you can argue that like a guy like Spytek, he knew that this is, a rebuild, and some of the guys that he drafted were some guys can contribute early, but some guys were projects. Some guys were developmental, like guys like Dante Thornton. I was going to take time to develop. Guys like Charles Grant, take time to develop. But he was okay with that because he knew that this was more of a long-term thing. Like at the end of the day, like, but when you talk about like a team like the Colts, I think every guy they're trying to get is from the next, since Daniel Jones and the way this offense and the way this team is playing, they're going to attack the offseason and who can contribute and make this team better right now. So, from that perspective, like obviously, they get a corner in, and that was like their biggest need too. That's the crazy thing. Their biggest need, and they get one of the best corners. But it just feels like it was a little bit of a slight overpay though, a little bit with the 2 first round picks, because Sauce Gardner, he hasn't been as dominant as you would want him to be to get it we traded for Devontae Adams. And when we traded the 2 first round picks, we were like, oh yeah, no problem. We got Devontae Adams. He's the best player at his position. Sauce is not the best player at his position. Sauce is not even. Where would you rank Sauce Gardner at corner? I think he kind of fell off a little bit.
Probably 4.
Let's see here.
I'll probably go 4. But like say, that's why I think people always look. I said, bro, we gotta get out of that mindset. You gotta look at the opportunity cost and waiting. You need a corner. You were in your win window this year, so those 2 first round picks are worth getting a top 5 corner in the NFL right now on a very good deal right now, and you've already probably would have used another one of those first round picks already on the corner anyway. So it's like, and they're going to be late for, you know, the way they're playing, they're going to play in the late 20s. So it's like, you know, at worst. So it's like I think you got to strike while the iron is hot. And as you said, they're in the win now mode. They understand what their window is with this team, with Jonathan Taylor. And people look at Sauce Gardner not being dominant. Like teams don't have to throw on the Jets because the Jets ain't scoring points for the most part. So, and then when they do throw, they ain't throwing their sauce.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It was super aggressive. I don't think a lot of people expected it to.
Oh no, nobody.
You know what though? You got to give credit to Chris Ballard and the guys over there. I mean, for years though, Raiders been interviewing Ed Dodds. I thought that was a guy that I wanted to get because I liked how the Colts were able to add talent to that team, because I feel like Colts always had talent, but it's just, you know, they didn't have a quarterback, so it didn't work until Daniel Jones got there, which is crazy to even think about. Like, Daniel Jones comes there, and the rest is history. Yeah. But even though they make that move, do you think they have a shot again to the Super Bowl? Because when you get to the playoffs, man, the better quarterback is gonna win.
But one thing you can do in the playoffs, though, you can shorten the game with the back like Jonathan Taylor, and and you know, like, I forgot who was talking about this. I can't remember who was talking about this, but it was like good teams want longer games, because the better team, the more time that is out there or you spend out there, the talent is usually going to, you know, rise to the top. The cream rises to the top. The worst team wants a shorter game. It's almost like a shorter series, right? Generally, the best team wins a 7-game series. But if it's best out of 5, bro, I could sneak you 3 times, right? Like, I can get you. Anything can happen. But the longer the series goes on, like, the more opportunity the better team has to kind of impose their will on the lesser team. So if you can run the ball, and obviously we know they can run the ball with the offensive line with Jonathan Taylor, like, you can make a lot of things happen. And then if you put teams in situations where you grind down the clock and you put points on the board, so they have to score now, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to pass. And who do you got out there? Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, that's true, too, because when you get to the playoffs, you got to run the football. You got to have that ability to run the football. And they got Jonathan Taylor, who right now is probably the best back. He's playing like the best back in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
What's up with Derrick Henry, man? Like, what's going on with him? Like, is he finally is it finally happening right now this year? Because I know early on in the season there was fumbles that he was having fumbles issues. I know last year he had like 1,800 yards. Like, if it wasn't for Saquon, man, he obviously would have been the guy that everybody would talk about as far as the best running back in the NFL. I mean, he's still one of the best, but like, I don't know if is he finally, like, is it, you know, is he losing his step? Is he still the same guy? I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. It could be. I mean, he's taking, because like he's had several years where he's been the guy, just taking all those carries. Taking all those hits, and that stuff accumulates on you. And even though, like, Derrick Henry, like, for a running back, that dude is like he's a big running back. So if anybody can stand up to that kind of punishment over the course of their career, it's a guy like Derrick Henry. But eventually that stuff is gonna catch up with you. So, you know, it could be that year. It could be that this is that year for him. But it also could be that the Baltimore Ravens have just not been really good. So it's like, you know, like, everybody, when you know you're not going to win, you're not in a position to win, like, everybody's level of play kind of starts teetering off, because like you kind of know what it is. Especially if you don't got Lamar out there, it's like, all right, you know.
Man, the chat's going crazy. LS said, I'd argue that Genty's a better receiver than running back right now.
Last game he was. He was way better as a receiver than as, and I would say way better, but he was better as a receiver than a running back this last game. But I don't have no problem with that. If he can do it, bro, he can do it.
Frank Cole's game with the real out was nasty. See the Genty talk, man. I'm trying to get back on track here.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay, this is all right. The random questions. Hey, nah, man. It's all love, bro. That's my boy, man. At the end of the day, we just having like a, little discussion going back and forth. Membu and Camp battle with Stone Forsythe for backup spot.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. You know what? I was hey man, I was really, there was a part of me was expecting like JPJ to get traded a little bit just because of how bad. But I don't think the Raiders they're not gonna be that stupid. And on top of that, you know the backlash they would have got. Oh man, on top of it being so, and I'm not even saying JPJ's playing great football right now. He hasn't been perfect at all as well, but it's just when you have offensive line issues and you trade away a rookie not rookie, but a guy on a rookie deal,
exactly.
Like it's like, what are we doing here? Like, and on top of that, you got a 75-year-old head coach who's leading the way on that. This like, no. I'm sure Spytek was like, yeah, we're not doing that. Like, let's be real. You're not going to be long enough. You're not going to see the end of his contract, his rookie deal. You're not even going to be here.
No, facts.
Let's see, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to click and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. First time here, I'm a Green Bay fan. Do you think we beat the Eagles? Hey, man, appreciate you coming through. Green Bay beat the Eagles. I can see it happening.
I can see it happening too. At the regular season game.
Because I'm not going to lie, like, as talented as the Eagles are, like, you know who scares me is their quarterback, man. Jalen Hurts kind of like,
yeah,
but like to be fair though, like when the playoffs happen, he plays his best ball in the playoffs. This seems like, so
yeah, that's true. But the thing is that the Packers seem to play to the level of their competition. So obviously they have a tie against the Cowboys. They lost to the Panthers. But they have wins against the Chiefs. Like they have some big, so like they play to the level of their competition. So, it's not to beat the Chiefs, but they didn't beat the Chiefs. I'm thinking the Eagles, but they play to the level of their competition. So like when they don't get up for games, they're not motivated to play well. You see what happens. It just happened. Carolina snuck them. So I think they'll be excited for a big matchup against the defending Super Bowl champions. So. I think it'll be a good game. I think they can win. They can win, especially they have a running back, and Jordan Love before this past game he was playing some really good football. So I think they can get it done.
Hank, real quick, he says he's average, but with Bowers, bro, that's a 1-2 combo. I hear you, but
yeah, I see that.
I'll say this. You can make an argument and say the Raiders would be better served having a better blocking tight end. Because we don't have that right now. I don't think we have a really good blocking tight end. Because even Michael Mayer, that's supposed to somewhat be his strength in his game, and he's kind of inconsistent there.
He's the better of the two, but yeah,
he's better of the two. But I'm just saying that will complement. He would like a blocking tight end to complement Brock Bowers. Because I'm not sure. I don't think Michael Mayer is that dominant of a blocker. Like even Michael Mayer coming out. He got better in that department, but coming out, he was more of a receiver. Like he was more of a receiver coming out of college. So that's something that he got better at. But you can argue that he's been inconsistent in blocking too. Like it's like,
yeah, he's been inconsistent in blocking. Like, but that's a league-wide problem. I forgot somebody was talking about it, but it's like that's a problem around the league. It's not just the Raiders. Like blocking at the tight end position and at the wide receiver position has been a struggle for like. Across the NFL, I forgot what stat it was people were showing, what we're talking about, but it's not isolated to us. But I still don't even think because when that's Ian Thomas, that's supposed to be Ian Thomas' job too. He's supposed to be the blocker at tight end. So, I mean, you don't want a guy like Michael Mayer is a good compliment because you want a guy that's good enough as a receiver to if you need to throw up some passes, he can be a threat and he can make some things happen. And we saw him do it a little bit this last game. If anything, you argue Michael Meyers is a guy that is not getting enough targets. But you also want a guy that, you want him to be better in blocking than Michael Meyers is. But like I said, it's been a league-wide struggle this year for everybody. So I don't know if this is like, just a symptom of that, or if it's something that's going to potentially linger. So I think in years past, he's been, especially down the stretch of his rookie year, I think he did solid.
Guess who came out of retirement? Who's a career-long, known blocker at tight end?
Yeah,
Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
Who got just signed by Denver Broncos, who were playing this Thursday.
Yeah.
So
matter of fact, that's what you were telling me. You were telling me that's why Mercedes Lewis was able to come out of retirement and get looked, I think, from multiple teams, because blocking at the tight end position has been bad. So I mean, you brought that up. Maybe it wasn't on camera.
He's been playing for years.
Yeah, man.
He's
UCLA alum, man.
Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. So that's why you've been following along, because he's out of UCLA. Yeah. But he's at 41 years old at tight end. That's crazy. That got to be like a record. That got to be a record. But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Porter can lock down Sutton opposite side. I don't know, bro, about that. I don't know about that, but you know what? Like, it wasn't like Porter was getting I didn't feel like he was getting burned. It was still tight coverage.
Yeah.
It's just one of them was just a better throw. I think it was on the sideline. It was I don't know if it was a comeback route or whatever. Lawrence kind of threw a nice little pass that only the receiver can get. But
talking about the one between the two defenders.
Yeah, it was something crazy on the side. It was on the side. I was like, damn, there's nothing you could do. It was just the ball placement was just perfect. But yeah, man, I'd rather have him out there and just develop and get better. I mean, look, if he has good enough work ethic, if he's that talented, he'll get better. But they're still gonna have a question at corner though. They got questions in two spots. Are they gonna bring back? I'm trying to think of the other starting cornerback who's actually been playing well this year.
Stokes.
Are they going to bring back Stokes, who's on a 1-year deal? Our nickel corner spot, we're going to need a guy there. I don't know who. The answer is probably not on the roster. I know we had Greedy Vance start. I think last game, I think he was able to get on the field. I think he took Darnell Holmes' spot. But even he, I don't know if he's an undrafted free agent. I'm not sure how that works out, but it is what it is. Ravens O-line been struggling. Interesting, Alfredo. Ravens O-line have been struggling, and let me see what Henry's numbers are. I'm sure it's not that bad, but let me see. He is getting up there in age, dog. In front.
Yeah, up there in age. Yeah, and they've been getting blown out too. That's another thing. Is their defense? That's not even their offensive line. Their defense has been struggling. So, look at. I wonder how many carries he's had this year.
Let me take a look real quick. All right, so he has 128 carries. It's not bad. He has 128 carries, 629 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns.
With the struggling offensive line. How many carries do you think Genty's had?
And he has 750 receiving yards.
Oh my God. How many? So Derrick Henry has 128 carries. Would you say Derrick Henry is a top 5 running back?
Yeah, for sure.
He has 128 carries. Genty has 124. What are we arguing about carries for? I rest my case.
But it's not just it's not even just the total amount of carries. It's the consistency of it, but also not even just the carries. Because I've been saying this. I said, get Genty in space. We should find ways to get him involved in the pass game. I felt like that took it's almost like they didn't know how to, like I said, bro, like I said this earlier, I'm like, it's almost like they're trying to figure out how to use Genty and what works and what doesn't work. Because there wasn't really a plan going into the season. Because that first game, we were even surprised. Oh, man, it's super pass heavy. He ended up getting more carries at the end of the game or whatever. It didn't really amount to anything. But like we just watching that game, it was obviously a pass heavy game plan, and we're kind of surprised. And then like the second game, we're like, they're kind of going away from the run game. And then like to your point, Genty hasn't been perfect. He made some mistakes. You know what I mean? Like I think there was a situation where he went the wrong way on a handoff, and then like we start seeing Zamir White and Dylan Lobby in the game, and there was a 3rd and 1 situation or 4th and 1 situation. Genty wasn't in the game, and people were like, what's going on here? But it was probably, it is what it is. It's just been kind of like a weird situation with them. And like I said, they're just trying to, it's almost like they don't really know how to use him. And we had a guy, we had Boise State beat reporter, and we talked to him, and he talked about like, man, like the way you kind of get him going, you got to you got to stay consistent and give him the ball. It doesn't necessarily have to be carries. It could just be in the pass game, just finding ways to get him the ball early on and then to get him going. But and especially with Brock going down, that was so interesting. Is when Brock went down, you would think you would emphasize giving the ball to like the next best player on offense, but that just didn't happen. It just felt like they still were kind of like, oh yeah, well here's Genty, and then they'll go away from him, and like, Trey Tucker and Michael Mayer and or whoever. It just was, there hasn't been a consistency with the Raiders offense, their identity. There hasn't been an identity, but maybe Brock being out might have thrown him off, might have thrown the offense off. Geno not playing well might have thrown the offense off. Yeah. There's a lot of different factors, but I'm just being honest. Like, we're being honest, like the way they kind of like have been using them, it just feels kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not saying, and you make a point about the carries. I'm not even arguing about the carries. It's just the way they've been using them. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. It's not like I'm saying this, I'm the only one. It's a lot of people kind of like been like, well, damn, like Bears game was like the first game that we kind of like, oh, damn, like, you know what I mean? And I think after the Bears, was it the Colts? Or was it the Colts before the Bears? Might have been the Colts after. Yeah, it was the Colts after.
It was. Because Commanders was week 3, so it was Patriots, Chargers, Commanders, Colts, and then the Bears, I think. Or nah, Bears and Colts.
Yeah, so that Bears game I felt like was the first time like, oh damn, like they got him involved in the pass game, and then obviously he had a great game rushing the football, but he was getting involved in the pass game, and then that next game. Even though that game was a blowout, I think that first series, didn't he have like a wheel route thrown to him, like 29-yard pass?
Yeah.
Geno, so I'm like, all right, okay, they starting to do, but then it's just.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's just perception, because I think the Bears game, I could be wrong on this. Like, I'm not looking at the numbers, but if I recall correctly, he had 3 targets for 3 catches and 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
I could be wrong on that though, but I think those were the numbers. We had 3 targets, 3 catches, 2 touchdowns, and both of those, one of them looked like it was designed. The other one looked like it was like a dump off. Like, hey, here's my outlet. I'm gonna get it.
But it was like thrown early enough where he could actually like make a football move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it almost felt like it was designed, but it was like just early enough where like, all right, you make something happen.
Yeah.
And then he
exactly. Well, yeah, like I think Geno did a good job of looking at the coverage and saying like, yo, bro, I see this, how many people I see deep. All right, I know I got an outlet here. Let me get it to him. And Genty made a play. One of them he made a guy miss nice. The other one I don't recall. I think he broke a tackle and got into the end zone. But like, yeah, it was, but like it wasn't like a crazy. They weren't crazy involved in the pass game, but we feel differently just because it was 2 touchdowns. But I think it was 3 targets.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. But it was just like the first, like, oh, like they're actually, one was a design. I think that might have been like the first one of the season where they actually like, all right, this ball is going to Genty. And then the other one was, it was like thrown in time where, okay, like Genty, like where he wasn't behind the line of scrimmage, and he was actually, like at least 3, 4, 5 years down from line of scrimmage. So like, and he was able to make a move, and then he ended up scoring. So I was like, all right, let's build upon this. And I felt like, all right, then we seen that 29-yard pass. I'm like, oh, okay. Damn, all right, said there might be something here. And I think there is something there. I think that there is a skill set that, because bro, he's not that big. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna be.
And the real route he caught. I mean, you can see like he's comfortable catching the ball. Like you saw in the real route, it wasn't like, some people like you bring up Darius Harris all the time, where it's like ham-handed and it looks like awkward and unnatural. Like you see, like he feels comfortable catching the football.
Yeah, Hank. Yeah, he's probably he's the best back of this generation. You know what I mean? Like he's been the best back for the last man. I know like probably Saquon probably took that crown maybe last year, but man, but you can argue he had but Henry
of
had
this generation,
yards.
yeah, exactly. This generation, it could still. I mean, if you look at like just consistency, you probably still go King Henry. It's like peaks. Maybe you go Saquon at his peak, but yeah, just consistency. I think you gotta go King Henry.
Because look at his career. Like, let's see, we're looking at, all right, from 2018. That's like the first year where he broke 1,000 yards. Just over 1,000, 1,059. Then 1,500 yards in 2019. Then 2,000 yards in 2020. And then like he missed half the season in 2021, but he still had 937 yards.
Crazy.
2022, 1,500 yards. 2023, he had like 1,100. This is with Tennessee. And then he goes to Baltimore that first season. I said 1,800 yards. My bad. 1,900 yards.
Ridiculous, man.
But like, this is crazy, man. And then he has just has 600. He's played 8 games and has 600 yards, so he's on pace to get over 1,000. But that's like something light for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Like, but listen, but keep telling people, man, in a 17-game season, 1,000 yards is like 70 yards a game. Like that's like
yeah,
it's good, but it's not like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like, okay, he's good. He's a good player.
Yeah,
he was productive this year. Like that's what it is. Like so that's why you got to set the benchmark higher.
Yeah. Let's get to what's real, what's not. This is where we say a statement. Y'all just react to it and say if it's real or not. Obviously, we do the same. Severe, what we got, man, for what's real, what's not?
I think you had it this year. I think this week. I think you came up with it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Was it the? Oh, yeah. So Ashton Jeanty. Speaking of Ashton Jeanty, is like the topic of the show. Surprisingly, we didn't even expect it to be the topic of the show. But Ashton Jeanty will win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Ashton Jeanty will win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Is that real or is it not? Let me know in the chat. So I'm gonna start thinking about the candidates. All right, Abuka from Tampa Bay obviously would be a leading candidate. Jackson Dart, the way he's played, I was watching that Niner game, and I'm like, man, this dude is pretty good, especially for like the guys he's playing with. Like he lost Malik Neighbors, he lost Cam Scotabo. Like receivers are dropping passes left and right. Theo Johnson, the tight end they drafted this year, was dropping like I don't know. I think he had like 3 drops against the Niners, but
yeah, that's crazy.
He is like he's making them, like he's making plays, like he's giving them a chance to win. And I was like, well, I'm like, damn, this dude was this good, and the Raiders could have, man. We need to get our guy, bro. With this year, hopefully this year with the Raiders draft a QB. Hopefully we can get a QB like this.
There's a certain YouTuber that said Jackson was the third best. But, he was third best. A certain guy.
So yeah, Jackson Dart is obviously gonna be in that discussion. I'm trying to think of another candidate that might be in Jeanty's way. Those are the ones that came up. Maybe Judkins if he starts balling out, but I don't know if Judkins has played enough or been healthy enough. But yeah, I'm gonna say not real, man. It's gonna be. I think it's not real. If there is the only chance that Jeanty has, if he got a ball out the rest of the season to give himself a chance, because we all know quarterbacks, if they play good enough or well enough, they're gonna be the favorites. It's like MVP. Like we all know the MVP is probably gonna go to a quarterback.
Yeah.
But Ibuka's been killing like since day one. So he's legit. So I think it's an uphill battle for Genty, but I'm gonna say not real. LS, man. Hey, you lost that bet, man. You said Jakobi was gonna get 1,300 yards with the Raiders, man, this year, but he had 24 yards last week, man. What happened? I know what happened. It was Geno Smith, but hey, man. Sometimes you gotta stand on them bets, man. Anthony says no. Severe, what do you think? Is it real or is it not?
Yeah, I mean, if you already know, do I even need to see it? Go.
We all know Severe's answer, man.
Nah, it's not real, man. And even if, because first of all, Jackson Dart is playing so incredibly well, and the story around Jackson Dart is so big that it would be hard for Genty to beat that. But then, like, I don't even know if Jackson Dart would get it, because that team is bad. So then you got to look at Egbuka, where, like, if it wasn't for him being hurt recently, he'd be running away with it. Like, the only reason Jackson Dart is even in the conversation is because he was hurt. So if he comes back and finishes the year like he started it, I think he's a going away favorite to win it. And he was the third wide receiver drafted. So everybody knows. I mean, I think Teteroa's been playing well, but he hasn't. They're just not getting enough production out of Bryce for him to be a serious candidate. And then Tyler Warren, I think he's kind of cooled off a little bit, because he came out like gangbusters, where he was catching touchdowns and rushing for touchdowns and doing all kind of stuff. But I think he's kind of cooled a little bit. So I think Egbuka is the odds-on favorite at this point. But Genty he has a big second half of the year, and does some crazy thing. If he has a few of those Chicago Bears types games, he puts himself squarely back in that conversation.
The only one messing with Henry is CMC, because he's different. Yeah, CMC, he's good. Health has been health has kind of been an issue in his career, but definitely, because he's a dual threat. He's a definition, probably the best dual threat in recent memory. I mean, Kamara would be, and gotta come up, but Kamara, surprisingly, I don't think he's ever had 1,000 yards rushing.
He never had 1,000 yards rushing, no.
But CMC has. CMC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? McCaffrey has,
but Kamara's he's done stuff like 900 yards rushing, 800 yards receiving, it's crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. Shout out Charlie Garner, man. That 02 season.
Nice. I think Bijan's putting himself in that conversation too.
Yeah. Damn, Bijan is nice, bro. I ain't gonna front, man. Bijan,
like I said,
is
and I didn't even think Bijan was generational. I just thought he was the best, regardless of position, the best player in that draft.
Was that the draft that Jalen Carter came out?
That was Tyree Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, people we're saying that he was you can make an argument that he was the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
Coming out, obviously,
Exactly.
Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Man, y'all been active, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Just remember Brock Bowers last season. What you mean by that, man? My guy Dan in the building, man. Damn, man, appreciate you coming through, man. What's real, what's not? This front office real, or are we looking to rebuild next time around 2026? Are we looking to this is a rebuild, man. This is a rebuild. And it's not even a rebuild where this is gonna be one of the rebuilds they're gonna have to build through the draft, and it's gonna take a few seasons, man. I'm not gonna even lie to you, man. There's a small chance, but I'm not going to say this to you to get your hopes up, that the Raiders could be ahead of schedule if they draft a young QB, because young QB sometimes could change everything. It could be, we seen what happened when, we see what Jackson Dart's doing for the Giants. I know the Giants don't have a great record, man, but like, watch him. He gives them a chance. If it wasn't for injuries, like if Malik Neighbors was there, Cam Scatterable, like some of these guys was there, like, oh man, like they could be a problem for some of these teams. But, Jane Daniels was like, no one expected the Commanders to do what they did, even with Jane Daniels at number 2, and he played well enough where like they were a surprise last year.
Nobody expected the Texans to do what they did.
Yep.
So it's like and another thing a young quarterback does, and I mentioned it on my live last night.
Hey man, appreciate the super chat. My bad, I got acknowledge this real quick, man. My guy, man.
LS, a man of his word, a man of
his word, man. Hey man, appreciate you, my guy. I'll meet you. Hey man, appreciate it. Look, if you know what, I wasn't even tripping like that, but like,
don't be laughing. I'll laugh if you did that on my channel.
You had to be on some petty shit, like
but go ahead. You about to say something? You say you're not gonna lie, weapon.
No, I was gonna say like if he's I'll meet you halfway, Genty's ass.
Exactly. Man. But I would say that another thing quarterback does, I talked about it yesterday on my live. Anybody has to check that out, make sure you check it out. But we always talk about home field advantage. You get a young quarterback that the city and the fan base is excited about, you're gonna fill the stadium up. People will buy tickets to watch that guy play. So like we always worry about, we don't have a home field advantage and Raider fans we've been outnumbered. We get a young, exciting quarterback, like people will buy tickets to watch the team.
Yeah, that's but it's weird though. Like the last because okay, what happens if like they miss out on the top guys? Severe, are you out on taking a QB in the draft? And it meaning the top guys will be like the top, let's say, because we don't know who's gonna come out. That's the thing. We don't even know who's gonna actually declare for the draft. Like there is the level. Like the NIL has kind of makes shit unpredictable. Like you don't know, like some of these guys, even like, shout out to ECG. He was like, there's a chance Allard could go back. There's like a little loophole, even though he has no eligibility, but he could like, I guess, make an appeal and
maybe a gray shirt. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, like it's something because I have injury, whatever. He could find a way to come back, and I'm like, damn. And him of all people needs to go back. Just because like the way, because he should have came out last year if you want to capitalize on his, draft stock. And now like if he came out this year, then I don't know, I can't see him get drafted in the first round. Second round, ice a little bit. I don't even know about that. Like he might be like that the second, third. I don't know. It's hard. He's like one of.
Depending on how well he heals, when people think he'll realistically be ready to go for the year. Yeah, you probably like late second, third. I mean, like if we miss out on top guys, because I'm not trading up. That's one thing. I don't think we can afford to trade up. We have too many holes in this roster. At that point, if you miss out on top guys, you got to go play best player available. Like Arvell Reese's guy, he wasn't even on my radar. I forgot what game I was watching. I was like, who the hell? Like, who is this? Like, this dude is going berserk. I was like, who is this dude? I looked him up. Then I looked it up. It's like, I started seeing it. Like, now, because before he wasn't even like top 10-ish pick. But then I started seeing that he like considered like top 5 pick all of a sudden. So I'm like, man, this dude going bonkers. So if people pick up quarterbacks early, he's a guy that can fall for us. Obviously, Tate, like we need a number one receiver. I wouldn't do him in the top half of the draft. I probably want to trade down to like the teens. If we're like in the top 10, maybe pick up some assets there. But Ohio State receivers, like there's not one I can think of that's not good. Like, all those dudes are good. Now, Is Olave a number one? Like, is hit or miss? Garrett Wilson, he's sometimes a number one because is that quarterback play. You can kind of maybe attribute quarterback play to that. Marvin Harrison, we see what he's looking like. We know what Egbuka's doing. We see what Jackson Smith and Jigba is doing. Like, we see all these guys are the top of their class. So like you damn near can't go wrong with a Ohio State receiver. Obviously, the two tackles from Utah. I always forget the other guy's name. Like those guys will be on the radar.
People saying they guards though, or at least one of them.
Everybody.
Fano, they feel like is gonna be a guard.
They say that about everybody, bro. Unless you have like just the craziest long arms. They said it about DJ Glaze. They said it about Fuaga. They said it about. I think the only one that actually ended up being the guard is Skoronski. And like all the top tackles, they always be like, "Oh man, that guy's a guard." I think he could be a guard. I think that's just their fallback. Like, because they always say the only person top tackle I can think of. They said it about Will Campbell too, right? Because his arms are too. Like they always only one I can remember that was top that they didn't say that about was Joe Alt. Every other one they be like, "Oh, I think he projects to guard." And I think that's just people just say that to like. This point is just cliche. Like this is like to sound smart. Like I've been watching the tape and I think he projects it. So if it ever happens, they'll be like, yeah, I said when he was pre-draft, I said the guy was his best position was a guard, and now look at him. You know, so
call it before. Hey man, appreciate you, my guy. Bro, don't let me be a member of your channel. You too, not fuck with it. Make sure to be a member on Severe's channel. I haven't set mine up, but definitely hit up his membership. Yeah. So I haven't set mine's up, but Severe has set up his membership. So anybody, man, hey, and you had a dope live yesterday too as well. So he does Monday live, so definitely check that out. But yeah, head over to Severe's channel and get on his membership, man, as soon as possible. I'm gonna get to that as well, but for right now, obviously just head over to Severe's channel and get on his membership. Viva Zila said Drew Aller is hot trash.
I'm not a fan either, but I can see the NFL. I can see the NFL falling in love with a guy like that.
Arms crazy. You know what I mean?
What did my boy say? He's a perfect quarterback.
Bro, when I seen his comps, and I know a lot of people, some people are not fans of comps and stuff like that. Yeah. But when I seen this, I was hella disgusted. Like when I seen that his comp, people were Kerry Collins. When I seen that, I was like, oh,
he's not that stationary though.
Yeah, he's not that. But then they went from Kerry Collins to Joe Flacco.
I think he's more mobile than Joe Flacco too. I don't. Cause man, is his arm? I guess I'm trying to remember Joe Flacco like fresh out of Delaware. Joe Flacco, his arm. Joe Flacco had his crazy arm.
Joe Flacco he got an arm like he
had
a
crazy arm. Yeah, but Drew Aller has an arm too though. So, but I don't think Aller's is. I don't know if I don't think it's Flacco's though. But I think he's also more mobile than Flacco too though.
I don't know, man. He got a pretty good arm, bro.
He got a pretty good arm. He did.
I think his questions is like, it's like being like, can he be accurate on the other parts of the intermediate and short passing? Like his, those are like, you gotta. Those are important.
Know what that sounds like? Know what that sounds like? People won't remember this name. People will not remember this name, but it's a blast from the past. Penn State quarterback with a crazy arm. No.
Kerry Collins is Penn State quarterback.
Yeah, I'm talking about Christian Hackenberg.
Oh, the Jets drafted him?
Yeah.
The Jets drafted him? Yeah. Was in the second round, I think. They drafted him in the second round.
Yeah. I think it was second round, yeah.
We'll see. Damn. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Hopefully Jaden is all good, man. That was ugly.
That was ugly. He got to be done, bro. You can't put him back out. Not out there. Like he can't. How would he come back? That was crazy. Like man, because like I think was crying. Wasn't Darnold crying? Watching him leave the field. I want to say I saw a clip of him crying.
Who?
Sam Darnold, when Jaden was leaving the field.
Oh, Sam Darnold was crying. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think I saw a clip of him crying like when Jaden was leaving the field.
Oh,
like
damn.
he was like,
damn, Darnold is balling out, bro. He's balling, man, and that's
Darnold's
like,
yeah.
And the Raiders could have got
that was a Tom Brady. That was Tom Brady special. I'm putting that squarely on his shoulders. Squarely.
Yeah, because Mike Silver, bro, that's like one of my he's pretty accurate, bro. Like over the years, like he's one of them veteran journalists that's been doing it for a while, and he actually was the one that actually reported that like Tom Brady passed on he had reservations about Sam Darnold, like he had strong reservations and not going after John. And then obviously, Pete Carroll's like, well, how about Geno?
Exactly.
Like, we can do that. That's okay.
Yeah,
because Geno was all Pete Carroll. Like it wasn't like no one in the building was thinking Geno. No one on the Raiders is thinking Geno. It was Pete Carroll just saying like, "Hey, I think we should go after him. That's my guy."
Pete Carroll did his willing and dealing. I'm sure he got everybody on board, but obviously he was the first one.
Because the first choice were Ben Johnson at OC, and that quarterback was Stafford. They were trying to get Stafford.
Yeah. Which I mean, I was dead wrong about that. I mean, I for 1 year, Stafford was cool.
Oh, Stafford made the great. Like, oh my God, like Stafford.
He made the best decision. He would have retired. He would have retired after this year. He would probably retire in the middle of the season. Right, but I didn't want Stafford just because and that's my mistake, because I thought this was a more long-term situation where we weren't like going for broke this year. If we're going for broke this year, well then get Stafford then and pay him what he wants. Like that's if you're on a win now, if you don't give a damn about the future, then get Stafford. If that was the case, but I thought we had aspiration. We were thinking about 2-3 years down the line, but I should have known better when we hired Pete Carroll's head coach. That was my bad.
Yeah, I think they try to do both. And how they try to do both was like Spike's like, yeah, we're not going to be handing these guys. We're not going to be handing big contracts in free agency.
Yeah.
And then Spike obviously Spike probably was like, all right, Pete, who do you want to get in the first round? We all know Genty is Spike's. Genty is a Pete Carroll pick. Like it's a lot.
Clearly.
Jack Best seems like Spike.
Jack Best is Spike. I can see Chip Kelly having a role in that one too, because he likes those slot receivers that can block and be lead blockers. I think so I can see Chip Kelly being involved with that one.
Because Chip likes the strongest, the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. That's what Chip likes. He likes running backs, and he also likes motherfuckers is the biggest, the strongest, and the fastest. Like at wide receiver, it's like you could look when they had the highlight or where they had that list of receivers who had like the same like 6'5", 6'4", 4.3 speed, and DK Metcalf's name was right there with Dante Thornton. You can see, I'm sure like Pete was like, like, yes, that's the guy right there. And then
he was like, hot day in the morning, we found this one.
Oh man, for sure. And then he all it took was just like, showing Pete like some film Oregon. It's like, look, he's running routes here. You know what I mean? Like, look, we can make it work. He's blocking. He can block too. You know what I mean? That's exactly what happened. But
it's obvious, bro. It's obvious that was Pete.
Yeah, the offensive lineman. I'm gonna put that on Spy Tech. I'm gonna put that on Spy.
Yeah, Kappa. I put more on Spy Tech. Yeah.
Kappa's on.
Or you talking about the other? Or talking about Rogers and Grant?
Kappa for sure. Kappa for sure, but also the rookie offensive
Rogers,
lineman.
Rogers and
like
Grant.
Rogers, like the back to back, like for sure, like that's.
I can see that.
And then after that,
Porter. Well, we didn't go Porter.
Porter. That's Pete.
It's Pete here all the way.
That
all the way. All the way.
What's so weird about that? He didn't want to play him. It's like
he was a starter the entire offseason, through mini camps, through all the training camp, until like the last week, and then he yanked it from under him. It's wild, bro.
That's weird, bro. And after I guess JJ Pegues, Hemingway. I mean, Hemingway kind of fits what, like JJ Pegues, they kind of fit the Pete Carroll D tackles, like just over 300 pounds. You know what I mean? Like nothing. You know, like just I don't know.
And I didn't like the Hemingway pick, but I like what I seen from Hemingway when he was in preseason and when he got opportunities. I like the Pegues pick, and I think he played well too when he got chances. So I was wrong about Hemingway though. I think Hemingway, I think he can be something that if we ever give him opportunity to.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully. I mean, I was thinking that oh boy, your favorite player on the team, Tyree Wilson, was going to get traded today, but no. Dallas for the 49ers didn't take the bait. They didn't take the bait, bro.
Like I've been saying since day one. It's Pharaoh as my witness. I've been saying since day one, bro. Tyree ain't it.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm like trying to get to the Stafford Adams gonna mess up the plan. Yeah, for sure. Damn, I didn't even know that Adams had 198 yards at half with Rodgers against like the Jaguars, I think. Like, I was like, damn, like that's what Devontae was doing? I don't know. Hey, but I mean, I wasn't surprised Devontae would do that, but he had like 190. Yeah.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that either.
Let me that might have been it could have been like one of them exaggerations though. Let me look at that real quick, man, because I was like, what the hell? Devontae was killing like that?
Yeah.
Let me see, Devontae Adams, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to click and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Severe, man, let the people know what they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
Man, you guys know what it is, man. This is the Severe Raider here on YouTube, on TikTok, Snapchat, X, True Social, Kick, Twitch, everywhere. The Severe Raider. Holla at your boy, man. Obviously, here Tuesday nights and Thursday nights with my dog Pharaoh, the 50-50 show and Around the Shield, and then Sunday and Wednesday nights in the Raider War Room with Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider. And as you guys have seen, if you have not seen yet, run over there and go check out the lowest tech live you've ever seen in your life. Me on my Monday show, man. Hey, it was fun. You know, it was tough keeping up with the chat, man. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better, man. Baby steps. We building up. We had a lot of fun though. Had some good quotables in there, some funny moments. Told a story about a kid. His first game at Allegiant. That was a fun moment.
So I just pulled it up right here. He against the Jets or against the Jaguars last year, he had 9 receptions for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's
but not at the half. Is it at the half, or that's just for the game?
Well, I seen something where it said it happened in one half, so I don't know if he got shut out in like in the first half or something like that, and then he had all that in the second half. But
crazy.
Yeah, he was doing his thing. This year he
balling this year too. I think he's putting up a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's putting up touchdowns. He's always been a guy that got touchdowns, but he's not like that. I mean, he's got the second game of the season he had 106 yards. He's just been consistent, like consistently getting like 50, 60, 80.
Not crazy because he's number 2 though. He's number 2.
Like the game where he had a game where he had 3 touchdowns receiving, but it was like 5 catches for 35 yards.
Yeah. He's putting. I know he's putting up crazy touchdown numbers. But because he's number 2 though, Puka's the guy, and then the Rams run the ball. Well, I don't know what number Kyron Williams pulling up, but they got like 2 backs. They got Blake Corum and they got Kyron Williams.
Yeah, the Rams might be the dark horse to come out the NFC.
Sean McVay, bro. That's what Les Snead and Sean McVay, bro.
That combination is like people talk about like coach and QB, how important that combination is to winning football games. But I ain't gonna lie, you got to throw in GM in there too.
Yeah.
You got the Snead, man. He doing his thing, bro. Like he invented. Like how many times did he reinvented? Like I don't want to say Probably
Yeah, no, just
like
like
it was different because it was different versions of his team. I mean, you got the Aaron Donald led team, and obviously remember someone in the chat was talking about the running back that they had with
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, it's Todd Gurley and Jared Goff was the quarterback, and they were going to Super Bowls with Jared Goff. Like that's
but that's another guy running back. A lot of carries early. So think about Todd Gurley. I think he's like 31, bro. Todd Gurley is like 4 years younger than Mostert. Out the league. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, we gonna get up out of here, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody coming through. If you haven't already, man, make sure to clack out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll be back here this Thursday night football, man. It's gonna be, I guess, Thursday usually around the Shield, but it's gonna be around the Shield post game edition.
Yeah.
Because we'll be able to
talk to the Raiders lost to the Broncos.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be. We'll see what happens, man. But like I said, it's gonna be the last time I pick the Raiders, man. I tried to win. Like, how did you do? Did you keep up with your? I gotta look at the.
I never be keeping them, bro. I just you could have been doing me this whole year in terms of these what you call it. You could have been like just sanding off the what you call it, like saying like, oh, this 8-4. Severe 7-5. Like I wouldn't know, bro. I trust you. So, but like, hey, I think this game, this has to be a Genty game. This has to be with that front four or that front seven rather. They're a little bit smaller in the front seven. I think this should be a Genty game, man. Like we gotta lean on them. As I said before, shorten the game. Like build off what we did this week. Yeah, I think this could be a Genty game, man. Especially since we Chip Kelly keep getting questions about it. I think we probably lean on the run game heavily.
Well, let me look at let's see. Broncos, where are they ranking? They're top 12 as far as yards per carry. You know what I mean? So they're kind of they up there right there as far as stopping the run. But the Raiders are like 14th. So you see, stats could, sometimes be a mirage because the Raiders did not look like a top 14 defense against a run.
True.
Last
not
weekend,
yesterday.
Yeah, not at all. And it's a short week too. So it's a short week. Guys are sore. You know what I mean? This could be a Genty game where like guys don't want to tackle. You know what I mean? With his style of like trying to be physical and stuff like that. Hey, man, it's a possibility. It's a possibility, but we'll be here this Thursday around the Shield. We'll have guests. We'll be able to chop it up with you right after the game. Definitely check out Around the Shield this week. And obviously, 50-50 show will be next week. And any new content, obviously, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And then also follow Around the Shield on X and on IG, too, as well. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And yeah, man, we appreciate everybody pulling up. Everybody's talking about QBs and stuff like that, man. Hey, man, like we don't even know who's coming out, man. At the end of the day, someone said USC QB. What do you think of Maeva? I know he had a tough game last week against Nebraska. They almost lost. I told you Nebraska got good defense. I think Nebraska got defense is cool.
Yeah, he has 2 NFL receivers. I mean, so I he doesn't pop. He doesn't pop up to me. It's like he's like as a good like nothing special in my opinion. So I wouldn't like if we take him like third something like that. I wouldn't hate that, but I'm not looking at him in the first round.
Yeah, man. But that's like the quarterback class though. There's no top end just like grab your attention like quarterback. It's just good, solid. You know what I mean? Like there might be potential here. I don't know if I want to take you top 10. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to. Yeah, man. So we'll have plenty of time to talk about quarterbacks. We'll probably talk about it this Thursday. So definitely tune in. LS for sure, man. Look for Genty to have 5 receptions. Hey, man. Hey, put your money on it, bro. Put your money.
The question is, are there going to be
actually don't put your money because I don't know what Chip Kelly's going to do. I have no idea. I don't know.
The question is, are there going to be called plays or just going to be dump offs? Because there's a difference.
A combination, man. Because Gino, you know what I mean, could be throwing it behind the line of scrimmage and as a last resort option with the defender right there, man. So, you know, you never know. You never know. They want to get the ball out quick. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. But damn, that's not a good combination too. Gino likes to hold the ball. Whew.
He got it out quick. He got it out quick on Sunday. He got it out quick yesterday.
Yeah.
But I think Chip kind of forced his hand though. Like there weren't a lot of deep developing routes.
Yeah. Like they for sure that was like part of the game plan. Nathan freaking Peterman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. The GOAT. The GOAT.
Yeah, man. But any last thoughts before we head out of here?
No sir, man. Make sure y'all tap in with your boy, man. If you haven't done so, make sure y'all head to both channels, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Hey, it only takes a quick second. Tap the screen twice to like the video, and it goes a long way to helping us put our video out there in the algorithm, man. We was going on. I don't know how many hours we've been going on, man. So hey, the least y'all could do is just take 2 seconds to like the video.
Yes, sir, man. So we up out of here, man. We'll see y'all this Thursday. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.